Welcome, everyone, to Jimmy John's Field. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here as we bring you this Friday evening matchup between the Beavers and the Hoppers.
And what a gorgeous evening.
Yeah, I was about to say, it is a absolutely gorgeous evening here. Clear blue skies, 74 degrees with a nice breeze. Partly cloudy at best. It's just a perfect day for baseball.
Yeah, couldn't ask for any better.
So anyways, we got the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers taking on the Eastside Diamond Hoppers today. The Beavers played last night, Dan, and they conquered the Mammoths 4-2 thanks to some late inning work from Poller, Kennan, and Hernandez. So good games from those batters, and we had a good game from the starting pitcher that night as well, Randy Wynn.
Yeah, he went 7 innings strong. Well, 7 innings, and he he had 5 strikeouts, given up 3 walks, and had only given up 7 hits, and gave up only 2 runs, which were earned.
Yeah, Randy Wynn was definitely dominant on the mound. His ERA coming into that day was like 4.25, I believe it was floating around. So great game by him, and that's going to do wonders for his ERA. Anyway, coming into today, our 2 starting pitchers are Torrey DeShazer and Jake Welch.
Yeah, Torrey DeShazer for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers so far this season has 35 innings pitched, has 2 wins, 4 losses, has given up 39 hits, 19 walks, 35 strikeouts, 28 runs he has given up, which were earned, an ERA of 7.20 and a WHIP of 181.
However, though, Dan, his last start was very impressive. He went 6 2/3 in that ballgame, giving up only 1 earned run, 3 hits, 3 walks, and striking out 7. So let's hope that's the same Torrey DeShazer we see on the mound today.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need it.
Let's hope he can get that on a roll. And because last year he was dominant. He had an ERA at 2.14, and I feel like that DeShazer we saw last time he was out is the DeShazer that he normally is. He's had a rough year, but that was vintage DeShazer, if I do say so myself. Let's hope that he can keep that rolling and have a good game here.
Now, how about Jake Welch? And so far this season, I mean, he has 46 innings pitched. He has 3 wins, 2 losses. Has given up 35 hits, 18 walks, 42 strikeouts. Given up 14 runs and 13 were earned, and has an ERA of 2.54.
Yeah, he's been dominant so far this year with the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers, and his last game was just a continuation of that. He went 6 innings pitched, gave up 1 earned run, 3 hits, with 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Now, last time the Hoppers were out, Dan, it did not go the way they wanted. They got beat up by the Unicorns pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, it was a dominant performance by Randy Dominic from the Unicorns.
Yeah, Randy Dominic had a 9-inning game. He went the complete game, giving up just 4 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. That no walks is almost as impressive as the 9 innings pitched, because to not walk a single batter in 9 innings is just it means his control.
It's amazing, yes.
And his mixing locations really well. He just did a fantastic job.
He sure did.
And so you can bet the Hoppers going to come out here today. Hoppers being one of the best teams in the league are going to come out here looking for revenge. The Beavers might be the unfortunate recipients of that, but the Beavers are looking to get on a roll here after they won last night as well.
And you know what? They took over first place last night by beating the,
Westside Woolly Mammoths. In their division, at least.
Yeah. And then you know the last time these 2 teams faced each other was back on the 13th, and it was a dominant performance by the Beavers. They won 15-4 against the Hoppers. But look for the Hoppers to get revenge this evening.
Yeah, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers have quite a few strong weapons. Obviously, we know Castro is one of the most versatile players on that team. He's a threat at the plate, a threat in the infield, and he's a threat on the base pads. He's absolutely fantastic anyway you cut it. And then Cam Stewart is, and get this, Dan, he's first in average at 358 in the league. He's 3rd in the league in home runs with 6, and he's 3rd in the league at RBIs with 24. Now, that is a threat if I've ever seen one.
Yes, it is, and he definitely is going to be one to watch out for this evening.
Now, John Macon trails him just by a little bit, Dan, with an average of 352, and he's 4th in the league in home runs, and he's just been – just those 2 guys in that lineup have been absolutely dominant.
Speaking of Macon, I went with him for my pick for player of the game this evening.
Yeah, so far this season he's got 31 games played, 38 hits, 22 RBIs, 6 hits, 13 walks, and an average of 352. He's been absolutely dominant all season long, and you know he's 2nd in the league in average for a reason. He's such a solid pick for player of the game. Maybe a little bit.
My question is, who's your pick?
My pick was Nick Buckner.
Oh, I like it.
Now, Nick Buckner of the Beavers has 31 games played as well. He's got 30 hits, 1 home run, and 8 RBIs, so he's been hitting in situations without runners in scoring position, but he's been batting pretty well for average, 256, and he's been walked 15 times. I think he's going to have a good game here. There's a strong wind coming at us today, so don't expect to see a lot of home runs. You're going to see a lot of these balls die out in the outfield.
Papers are flying around in our booth here.
Yeah, so expect to see a lot of flyouts. Meanwhile, It's time for starting lineups for the Beavers and the Hoppers, so we'll send it down to the field for that. So we'll be back shortly.
Starting pitcher tonight for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers from Spencerport, New York, number 15, Jake Welch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, calling all Hopper fans. Now it's time to bring out your Eastside Diamond Hoppers, managed by Paul Noji. Joining the Hoppers on the field today are baseball buddies, the team from Masters Millwork. Leading off and batting first from the Dominican Republic, the shortstop, number 7, Ricky Castro with Jackson Kubiak. Batting second from Virginia Beach, Virginia, the second baseman, number 2, Cam Stewart with Clayton Long. Batting third from Elmhurst, Illinois, the right fielder, number 12, John Metkin with Max Polito. Batting fourth from Draper, Utah, the first baseman, number 8, Mark Bruger with Joey Smith. Batting fifth from Lumberton, North Carolina, the left fielder, number 22, Chris Power with Tanner Long. Batting sixth from Nutley, New Jersey, tonight's designated hitter, number 24, John Kraft with Alex Side. Batting seventh from Corona, California, the catcher, number 25, Brandon Oliver with Dante Seal. Batting eighth from Spring Creek, Nevada, the third baseman, number 44, Trevor Achenbach with Devin Mesmer. Batting ninth from Grand Rapids, Michigan, the center fielder, number 1, Ian Mikowski with Kyle Blackway. The starting pitcher tonight for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, number 14, Torrey DeShazer with Braden Salini and Gavin Stefanski. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats. Veterans and active military may keep your caps on while rendering the hand salute as we honor America and our military with the singing of our national anthem, performed this evening by Isabella McCauley.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
you we offer our respect, our pride, and our admiration.
Welcome back, everyone. And it is Pink Out the Park here. Pink Out the Park night here at Jimmy John's Field. And there's an applause going on for all the survivors of breast cancer, all those battling breast cancer right now. And as you can see by the, well, actually, it's a little bit, you can see it from the webcam, the pink in the batter's box to show support as all the players are wearing pink as well. Dan, we're still a few moments away from first pitch, so why don't you go through the starting lineups again for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers?
I would love to. Leading off, the right fielder, DeAndre Clark. Batting second, the center fielder, Brandon Raw. Batting third, the left fielder, Robert Pollard. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Nicholas Buckner. Batting fifth, the catcher, Hunter Wood. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Gerard Hernandez. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Dan Kennan. Batting eighth, the shortstop, DJ Martinez. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Thomas Rulis. Defensively for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers this evening, in left, you have Chris Power. In center, you have Ian Mikowski. In right, you have John Menken. At third, you have Trevor Achenbach. At short, you have Ricky Castro. At second, you have Cam Stewart. At first, you have Mark Kruger. Doing the catching behind the plate is Brandon Oliver. And on the mound this evening for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers is Torrey DeShazier.
And Torrey DeShazier looking to pick up where he left off back on his last start, where he went 6 2/3 with 1 earned run. And then going back to that whole thing about the Pink at the Park, like I was saying,
yes,
both teams are wearing pink.
It's just a special evening
box
here.
Yeah, it's a good thing they're doing here to show support. And the Beavers are wearing the away jerseys, so their jerseys have a lot more pink on it, and the Hoppers are wearing the white jerseys with pink on the sleeves. So if that helps you distinguish a little more, the Beavers being the away team are going to be batting at the tops of the innings. So again, the Beavers are wearing the pink jersey with the white sleeves, while the Hoppers are wearing the reverse, the white jersey with the pink sleeves.
I'm telling you, Brian, I'm really loving those jerseys on.
Yeah, they look really good. So DeAndre Clark is stepping in now to take the first swings of this ball game against Torrey DeShazier. This is DeShazier sets on the mound, and here comes the first pitch. It's going to be a ball outside as Clark shows bunt. First pitch is at 7:04 p.m., and it's a 1-0 count now on Clark.
So far this season, Clark's hitting .319, has 43 hits and 14 RBIs.
So that's going to be another strikeout side, 2-0. Yeah, he's had an impressive year so far, although he went 0-for-3 last night, Dan, only reaching base on a walk in the 7th inning in his last at-bat.
So he's looking forward to turn that this night into a better one.
The 2-0 pitch is going to be away, 3-0 now to DeAndre Clark. He hasn't seen a pitch in the strike zone yet.
And we talked about this last night. Clark is one of those guys that when he's up the bat, doesn't wear the batting gloves, but when he's on base, protect his hands.
Yeah, you can see the batting gloves in his back pocket there as he sits in from the right batter's box right now. The 3-0 pitch going to be outside. So it's going to be a 4-pitch walk to DeAndre Clark to start the game as he pulls the gloves out of his back pocket. Not how you want to start the ball game if you're Torrey DeShazier. You don't want to give a leadoff walk on 4 straight pitches.
Well, coming into tonight's ball game, DeShazier has given up at least 19 walks, so that's number 20 of the season.
Another aspect to look at if you want to look at, if that's the negative side, look at the positive side. He's struck out 35 in 35 innings pitched, so he gets 1 strikeout per inning on the usual as Brandon Ross steps in for his first at-bat. It's going to be the first strike of the ball game, a fastball over the heart of the plate, 0-1.
Brandon Raw right now is hitting .241, has 33 hits, 6 homers, and 24 RBIs.
Yeah, he had a double last night, went 1 for 4, and that led off the 6th inning where the Beavers scored 3 runs to take the lead. They throw down to first base, but Clark's going to get back in safely. 0-1 count on Raw.
Clark has a couple stolen bases already this season. Look for him to maybe be on the move sometime soon. Comes the delivery from DeShazier. It's going to be a ball low and away
1-1, and like we were mentioning before the game, Dan, that wind is coming straight back towards home plate from center field. So any fly ball has got a good chance of getting knocked down. You're not going to see a whole lot of home runs tonight unless you're getting them from the likes of Wilson or Mencken. Third on to first base. Ooh, Clark almost didn't get back in time. He had a big lead down there at first.
We've seen a pickoff move from Randy Wynn last night. Maybe we'll see one again this evening between these pitchers.
Comes the 1-1 pitch. Well, he's going to drive that one high in the air towards center field. Backing up is Ian Mikowski. He has it out there in center, and he'll throw it to the cutoff man. Returning to first base is Clark. So that's going to be the first out of the ball game.
Looked like a hit and run situation there.
Unfortunately, he hit it, but high up in the air. So now Rob Pollar's going to stand in. Nick Wilson is not in the lineup today for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers, and we're both curious as to why. We didn't get an official word. Last night he was playing DH, so maybe he's dealing with an injury. Pollar's taking the number 3 spot in the lineup. That first pitch is going to be bounced in the dirt, but it's going to be corralled by Oliver, so Clark will have to stay down there at first base. It's 1-0 now.
Pollar's hitting right now .333 of the season, has 10 hits, a homer, and 6 RBIs. Last night he had 2 RBIs for the Beavers.
Yeah, he had himself a great game. He went 1 for 2 with a base hit and, like you said, 2 RBIs. He walked twice and reached on error. He reached safely in every single one of his plate appearances. There goes Clark for second base. The throw from Oliver's in time, but to the right of Castro. So he had to come across his body, and that extra split second allowed DeAndre Clark to steal second base successfully. So now Rob Poller, who has a man in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the first inning. It's 2-0 count. Defense playing straight up on Poller. Oliver's going to come out to the mound as DeShazer had called him, and they're trying to get on the same page here.
I've seen a couple fans this evening have their light jackets.
Yeah, it's 74 degrees, which is a perfect temperature, but there's a strong, cool wind, so it makes it feel a little bit chillier than that. But honestly, for me, this is a perfect temperature.
Yes, it is. I'd rather have this type than like the 80s and 90 degree weather.
Agreed, that's
Sweating.
for sure.
And it's also Friday night fireworks night here at the ballpark. That's always great to see.
Can't forget that. Fireworks are always draw a big crowd. So the 2-0 pitch comes in, and it's going to be another pitch in the dirt. 3-0 as that one bounces in there. So far, DeShazer's only thrown 2 strikes in the ballgame. He's only faced, this is only his 3rd batter, but that's still a little bit alarming. Now, if you can do what Randy Wynn did and have a strong comeback, bounce back inning afterwards and just carry it on, that's fine. But for now, it's a little bit worrying as the 3-0 pitch comes in, and it's going to be another pitch outside. 4-pitch walk to Rob Poller.
Second walk in this inning.
Yeah, second 4-pitch walk. All of them fastballs that missed arm side. So now my player of the game, Nick Buckner, or my pick for player of the game, Nick Buckner, will stand in with runners at first and second base and only 1 out here at the top of the first inning.
Buckner's hitting .256, has 30 hits, a homer, and 8 RBIs. We did not see him last night.
That's going to be another fastball that misses arm side, 1-0.
So we get a good eye on him this evening.
No, we did not see Buckner last night as Wilson was playing playing DH instead. Buckner, the normal DH. I'm a little bit curious as to why Wilson's not playing tonight.
Yes, I'm still curious. Yeah.
I know he battled with a knee injury early in the season. I'm wondering if it's hampering him in here again. It's going to be 2-0 on him now.
Sometimes you got to give your big hitter a rest, too.
Occasionally. So, I mean, that's a possibility, but they're not playing 162 games like they would be if this was on the MLB. 2-0 pitch comes in. It's going to be a ball inside. 3-0 yet again, and DeShazer's having a lot of trouble hitting the strike zone. Only one of his pitches have officially hit the strike zone. The other one was swung on to center field where it was caught by Mikowski.
So he's been struggling already.
The 3-0 pitch to Buckner comes in, and that's going to be a strike on the inside corner. 3-1. If he hits himself into a double play, or he could end the inning. But he hasn't thrown anything down low to try and get that. As the 3-1 pitch comes in, it's going to be flied into foul territory down the left side, out of play. So 3-2. If you throw a pitch up high, you're more than likely to get underneath it and pop it out. Nick Buckner's got a lot of power in that bat. He's only got 1 home run to show for it and 8 RBIs. But believe me when I say he's got a lot of swing.
Yeah, he's one of those power hitters in the Beavers lineup.
Just hasn't translated for him yet this season as the 3-2 pitch comes in. Swing and a miss at a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Big cut there from Buckner.
A little bit high. And that's going to be a strikeout for DeShazer. And he keeps up that pace of a strikeout per inning here in the top of the first. There's 2 outs now. The runner at first and second now for Hunter Wood.
Hunter Wood's hitting .217, has 5 hits and 2 RBIs this season. Still fairly new here in USPBL.
Going to make a throwback to second base, and it's going to be a pickoff for Troy DeShazer.
Actually, he might be
he's
safe.
Calling him safe now?
I'm feeling it because they dropped the ball.
Ah, okay. Because DeShazer, the umpire initially signaled out, but then they noticed the ball is dropped, so.
It looked like Cam Stewart dropped it when he went to apply the tag.
Umpire's pulling a fast one on us here.
But it was right on the money.
Good throw from DeShazer on the mound. Just got to keep an eye on Clark out there at second base with all his speed. Comes the pitch to Wood, and that's going to be a ball high, way high, 1-0. Still missing outside a lot, or I should say arm side, to most batters. Runners at first and second with a 1-out count on Hunter Wood. It's a nothing tied ball game here in the top of the first inning. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss at that one. 89-mile-an-hour fastball. He chased up high in the zone on that one.
That was a big cut there from Wood.
So DeShazer sets himself on the mound again. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be a ball outside, 2-1. I'm noticing that the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers seem to have stacked their lineup with a lot of lefties and switch hitters in this ball game to try and offset the righty on the mound, and it seems to be working so far. Clark, who's a switch hitter, was walked, and so was Poller. As the 2-1 pitch comes in, it's going to be a ball in the dirt. It's going to get away from Oliver, and that's going to allow Clark to advance to third base. So a wild pitch will put runners at the corners now with 2 outs and a 3-1 count on Hunter Wood. Oliver signaling something to his infielders. Let them know what to do here. As Castro moves a little bit more to his left, as does Stewart.
Pollard's out to a good, decent lead there at first.
3-1 pitch comes in. It's going to be a ball outside. That's the third walk of the inning. And that'll load the bases, Dan.
And it's just been on that outside corner he's been reaching.
And Oliver comes out to DeShazer, as does Stewart come in from the infield. Have a quick chat with him, try and calm him down. He's walked the bases loaded here in the top of the first inning. He's got 2 outs. And now Gerard Hernandez has a chance here to give his team an early lead. He's only got 11 RBIs on the season so far, Dan. It's a good opportunity for him to tag on a couple more.
He is hitting 122, though.
That he is.
He has 9 hits.
He had an RBI last night when he grounded out to first base. That forced the run home from third. Comes the first pitch to Hernandez. It's going to be a ball outside. 1-0. That time he went the off-speed pitch, but still missed. So bases are loaded here in the top of the first inning with 2 outs and a 1-out count. And Gerard Hernandez is still tied 0-0, but that can change with 1 swing of the bat here. Here's the 1-0 pitch comes in. Another ball low and outside.
Wow.
2-0 now.
Losing control here. Hitting the outside. Most of his pitches.
Outside to left-handed batters, inside to right-handed batters. That's why we call it arm side, as it's the arm that the pitcher throws from. 2-0, and that's going to be in the dirt. 3-0 now. He's already walked 2 guys on 4-pitch walks and a 5-pitch walk to Hunter Wood. And that's how all the men have gotten on their bases.
And if you're manager Paul Nochi, this is not what you want to see early.
And not just Paul Nochi, but I think all his teammates are probably thinking that. But the 3-0 pitch comes in, and that's going to be in there for a strike. That was a good location on that fastball as it clipped the outer third of the plate. 3-1. If I was Gerard Hernandez, I wasn't swinging on that anyways, though. A 3-0 count with bases loaded. I can't afford to ground out or pop out. The 3-1 pitch comes in, and that'll be a fastball in the outer third of the plate again. 3-2. 2 good pitches there. And now DeShazer has fought back to a full count here against Hernandez. Has a chance to get himself out of a bases-loaded jam here in the top of the first inning. The 3-2 pitch comes in. It's going to be fouled down the left side. Looked like DeShazer was going back to that fastball in the outer third of the plate, see if he could get him a third time with that. But Hernandez, wiser just this time, decided to foul it off, protect the plate.
Yeah, he said not so fast.
DeShazer sets on the mound, bases loaded with a 3-2 count and 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Hernandez up to bat. You could break this one open. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. He's going to hit that one back up to the mound. And DeShazer, who has a hand on it, is going to toss it down to Kruger at first. And DeShazer, who walks the bases loaded, will leave them all stranded. So after the top half of the first inning, we go to the bottom of the first. We're due up for the Hoppers. It's going to be Castro, Stewart, and Macon. And we're still tied 0-0 despite a bases loaded jam for DeShazer. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here as we go to the bottom half of the first inning after DeShazer walked the bases loaded and got himself out of that jam on a ground ball out from Hernandez. Dan, why don't you go through the starting lineup for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers?
I would love to. Leading off, the shortstop, Ricky Castro. Batting second, the second baseman, Cam Stewart. Batting third, the right fielder, John Macon. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Mark Kruger. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Chris Power. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, John Kraft. Batting seventh, the catcher, Brandon Oliver. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Trevor Achenbach. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Ian Mikowski. Defensively for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers this evening, in left you have Robert Poller. In center you have Brandon Raw. In right you have DeAndre Clark. At third you have Dan Kennan. At short, you have DJ Martinez. At second, you have Thomas Rulis. At first, you have Gerard Hernandez. And doing the catching behind the plate is Hunter Wood. And on the mound this evening for the Beavers is Jake Welch.
Jake Welch coming off a good performance of his own with 6 innings pitched and 1 earned run in that ball game. Here comes the first pitch to Castro. That's going to be a strike right down the middle. 0-1. Jake Welch wasted no time getting in the strike zone in this ball game. Ooh, swung on and missed there. 0-2 now. Turkey Castro.
In the last game for the Hoppers, Castro had a ground out RBI, and that was back against the Unicorns. And he was 0 for 3.
Yeah, he grounded out 3 times in that ball game, and like you said, Dan, that one time was for an RBI, but that was only one of the 2 runs that the Hoppers managed to score in that ball game, as they were outscored 9-2, and Randy Dobnik just dominated that ball game. Was the story with those 9 innings pitched. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Welch. It's going to be grounded towards the second baseman, Rulis. Rulis ranging to his left has it. Will toss down Hernandez at first base, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Now batting the second baseman, number 2 and USPBL leading hitter, Cam Stewart.
So now Cam Stewart will step in, and like Johnny G, our PA announcer, just said, he is leading the league in average with an average of 358. He's also 3rd in home runs and 3rd in RBIs. He's got himself 7 home runs and 24 RBIs.
Wow.
So Cam Stewart has been a force to be reckoned with the Hoppers so far this season. As the first pitch to him is going to be a ball inside and low, 1-0. There's going to be a quick meeting at the mound between Wood and Jake Welch as they discuss how to approach a batter like him. They had 2 dangerous batters in a row, Stewart and Mankin, and then Mark Kruger has a pretty high average above 300 himself.
So we have a good lineup here for the Diamond Hoppers this evening.
Yeah,
to watch out for.
Yeah, the 2 through 4 hitters. Actually, the 1 through 4 hitters of the Hoppers are all really dangerous, as it's 2-0 now. And I mean, generally, that's what you want out of the top half of your lineup. And the Hoppers really have a good thing going with them right now. 2-0 pitch going to be grounded towards the third baseman, Kennan. Kennan takes a step to his left. Will throw down to first base. It's going to be off the base pads, though, as it's going to get away from Hernandez, as Cam Stewart will advance all the way to second on that wild pitch. I'm pretty sure that's going to go down as an error, as Dan Kennan botching that throw down to first base. So Cam Stewart reaches first base on an error. Or second base on an error, really. Go down as an E5.
Just a little bit poor throw there from Dan Kennan.
Yeah, he had time. It seemed like he rushed his throw, though. Now, Cam Stewart's got speed on the base paths, but it was a ground ball that came to him pretty quickly.
And here's my pick for player of the game this evening, John Mankin to the plate. And also another dangerous hitter in this Hoppers lineup.
Tried to front door him there with a curveball. Came back over the plate for a strike, 0-1. Really fooled him on that pitch.
Mankin hitting .352, has 38 hits, 6 home runs, and 22 RBIs for the Hoppers.
0-1 pitch comes in, and that's going to be a fastball inside. It's going to get away from Wood, and that's going to allow Stewart to advance all the way to third base. So just like that, there's a runner at third base with 1 out here, and you can't even, there's no one really to blame. A wild pitch and an error. So we got a runner at third with 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out here on the top of the bottom of the first inning, with John Mankin up to the plate.
The last time the Hoppers played last Saturday evening against the Unicorns, Mankin had a solo home run.
Yeah, that was the only other run. And he is 4th in home runs in the league right now, and he's 2nd in batting average, as he's going to ground that one fouled on the third base line. It'll be 1-2 on him now.
He has a perfect opportunity here to get his 23rd RBI of the season if he's able to bring home Stewart over there at third.
Stewart, who moments ago reached second on a throwing error from Dan Kennan at third base, then reached third base on a wild pitch. So here comes the 1-2. That's going to be another ball in the dirt, and it'll be 2-2 now. His pitches that hit the strike zone are perfectly placed, but the pitches that don't are in the dirt, way wide. There's no middle ground, it seems, right now.
And let me tell you, no hitter's going to go fishing for those.
Well, I won't say no hitter, but it's very rare. It does happen.
Yeah, it does.
We've seen golf swings before, and even in every league, as the 2-2 pitch comes in, and he gets him on that nasty slider. And that is going to be the first strikeout for Jake Welch in this ballgame.
Macon was wondering, why did I swing at that one? That was way out of zone.
So there's 2 outs now with a man at third base. And, yeah, Macon was probably a little bit frustrated at himself. But that was just a nasty pitch from Jake Welch. So now Kruger stands in.
He's hitting .275, has 19 hits, 2 home runs, and 14 RBIs.
Yeah, he went 1 for 3 last Saturday in that ball game against the Unicorns, registering a base hit in the 7th inning of that game. It's 0-1 on him now. So Jake Welch sets on the mound. Here comes the delivery of the 0-1 pitch. He's going to ground that one towards the first baseman. Hernandez has it. Hernandez going to take it himself and tag first base. So that's going to do it here in the bottom of the 1st inning. The Hoppers threaten but don't score. So we're going to go to the top of the 2nd, still tied 0-0. Where due up for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers will be the bottom of the lineup. Dan Kennan, DJ Martinez, and Thomas Rulis. We'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned.
Got a mask on here for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the video board. Someone has a very important question to ask.
Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here at Jimmy John's Field as we bring you this Friday evening game between the Beavers and the Hoppers. It's still a 0-0 tie, despite the fact that both teams had players in scoring position in both their halves of the inning. The Beavers had the bases loaded on walks in the top half of the inning and weren't able to get anyone across home plate.
Yeah, DeShazer was really struggling that 1st inning with his command of pitches as well and his control. You're always hitting that outside corner. If you're right-handed, it's the left side.
It's still got to be a great feeling for DeShazer, despite loading the bases to get out of the jam, and hopefully that'll give him a little bit more confidence instead of bringing his confidence down, as the first pitch to Dan Cannon is going to be a strike high in the strike zone, 88-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1.
He literally had the light flash before his eyes when that ball was hit right back to the mound to him.
Yeah, his quick reaction was what saved him runs in that inning as the 0-1 pitch comes in. That'll be a pitch just a little bit inside, 1-1 now. So Dan Cannon so far this season's batting .264 with no home runs and 8 RBIs. He's going to, looks like he went around as they appealed on the umpire and he confirms it, so 1-2 now.
He had an RBI last night, and that was on a bloop single back in the 6th inning against the Woolly Mammoths. Him and Robert Pollard and Gerard Hernandez were the top hitters last night.
Yeah, he went 1 for 4 in that ballgame with that RBI single, as he's going to hit that one right to the shortstop, Castro. Castro makes a quick toss on the first base, and that'll be the first out in the inning. So good start to the inning here for DeShazer. So now DJ Martinez will step in. No man on and 1 out here in the top of the second inning.
He's hitting 182, has 20 hits and 11 RBIs.
First pitch he sees is going to foul into the netting behind home plate. Another fastball from DeShazer. He seems to be relying pretty heavily on that here in the early goings. He was 0 for 3 last night, DJ Martinez. He reached on a walk, stole a base, and reached on a fielder's choice. It's going to be a ball low and away, 1-1 now. 1-1 pitch will be just a tad low, 2-1. DeShazer going with the breaking ball that time. Missed low. The 2-1 pitch comes in. It's going to be fouled off out of play. Count's going to fall even at 2 apiece. DJ Martinez so far this season, like you said, Dan's batting 182, so below the Mendoza line. But he's got 11 RBIs and 20 hits so far this season. The 2-2 is going to be appealed down to first, and they're going to say he went. And DJ Martinez is frustrated at himself as he slams his bat on the ground.
He's like, you got to be kidding me right now.
I'm not sure if he was frustrated at himself for swinging at a pitch so low or frustrated at the call by the umpire.
That is now DeShazer's second strikeout in this ball game.
So Thomas Rulis will step up to the plate, and that fills his quota for a strikeout per inning there, Dan.
Yes, it is.
As coming into the game, he had 35 strikeouts in 35 innings. Now he's got 37 strikeouts in 37 innings.
Now here was your pick last night, Thomas Rulis.
Ended up being a pretty good pick. He didn't have any RBIs, but he had he went 2 for 4 with 2 base hits and 2 stolen bases. So I'm pretty pleased with myself for that pick.
You beat me.
And I don't even remember who your pick was last night. Is the 1-0 pitch is going to be away, just a little bit outside, 2-0.
Heck, I don't even remember.
The 2-0 pitch comes in. It's going to be a ball outside. 3-0 now. So after DeShazer gets the first 2 guys out, he gets out to a 3-0 count against Rulis. And we've seen these 3-0 count 3 times already against batters, each time resulting in a walk. As the pitch comes in, it's going to be a 4-pitch walk. The 3rd time today it's been a 4-pitch walk for Troy DeShazer, and he's looking to...
That's his 4th walk already in this ball game.
Yeah, definitely not a stat line you want to have in 1 2/3 innings pitched.
That would definitely get your pitch count up.
Yeah, so now DeAndre Clark will step in. DeShazer's shortest performance so far this year was 1 2/3.
Now Clark, who's up the bat, first time up, walked, and he also had a stolen base.
That first pitch is going to be away from Oliver. He'll have to go back to the backstop to get it, and that will allow Rulis to advance to second base. So another wild pitch from DeShazer allows another base runner to advance, and that puts a runner in scoring position for Clark. And these little mistakes are going to start adding up, as it's the second wild pitch that DeShazer has thrown so far this ball game. He lets bat. He's been giving too many freebies up, and he's been giving too many wild pitches, and eventually he's going to come around and bite him. So let's hope he can regroup here. He had a good start to the inning, as the 1-0 pitch is going to be low and inside for a ball, 2-0. Looked like he was going to have a strong bounce back inning after getting the first 2 guys out, but now there's a runner at second base.
Perfect chance here for Clark to bring him home.
The Beavers were unable to capitalize on a bases loaded situation last inning in the top of the first, as that's going to be a ball inside, 3-0 now to Clark.
And he's sweet spot in the outfield will bring home Rulis.
Clark's more of a contact hitter, as he's got no home runs and 14 RBIs. He gets a lot of ground ball singles as the 3-0 pitch comes in, and that's going to be way outside. Not even a chance on that one, as Clark's going to get a 4-pitch walk.
Number 5 of the ball game for DeShazer.
So now Brendan Raw will step in. It's the second walk of the ball game for DeAndre Clark.
Now Raw, his first time up, he flew out to the center fielder, Ian Mikowski.
DeShazer seems to be faring better against the right-handers rather than the left-handers. which makes sense statistically speaking, seeing as he's a right-handed thrower. It's going to be a ball low in the strike zone, taken for a strike. 0-1, looked like a change up there in the bottom of the strike zone, 0-1. Runners at first and second out, 2 outs here for the Beavers in the top half of the second inning. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. He's going to hit that one high in the air. Oliver over into foul territory, and it's... Ooh. Oliver and Achenbach are going to collide in foul territory, and none of them are going to make the catch, and Oliver's on the ground. Looks like he's in some pain.
Let's hope he's okay.
Hopefully it's just the wind got knocked out of him as the two of them collided, both going for the foul ball. He looks okay as he gets up and heads back behind the plate. Achenbach in his first game with the Diamond Hoppers is the new third baseman for him.
Just a little miscommunication there.
Well, that team chemistry takes a while to build up, and I'm sure as the season goes on and Achenbach continues to play with the Hoppers, they'll build that communication and chemistry.
Yeah, it takes time.
And it was an unfortunate result there, but it's 0-2 now on Raw. At least they weren't going on a full charge. It's kind of a light jog.
That would have been
there.
ugly.
The 0-2 pitch comes in, and that's going to be a ball low. 1-2 now on Raw. Runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Still a scoreless tie, as that's going to be another ball inside. 2-2 now. Count falls even. DeShazer delivers the pitch. It's going to be driven towards center field, way high in the air. Coming in is Mikowski. He calls off Castro and has it. That's going to end the top of the second inning. So again, the Beavers leave runners in scoring position. And we go to the bottom half of the second inning, still tied 0-0. We're due up for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. It's going to be Chris Power, John Kraft, and Brendan Oliver. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom of the second inning. Brian Fisher and Dan Dilber with you here as Chris Power comes to the plate. Still a 0-0 tie after DeShazer gets into a little bit more trouble there in the top of the second inning, but gets out of it. He struck out 2 batters, but has had 5 walks so far. Chris Power checks his swing on the first pitch, and appealed on the first. Say he didn't go and held up, so it's going to be a ball 1-0.
And that can really get your pitch count high. The more batters you walk. Hopefully DeShazer can turn that around.
That's going to be a ground ball down the foul side. The left side.
Still foul.
It's still foul, but the foul side doesn't exist, so 1-1. Looks like I was getting ahead of myself there, combining my two sentences. Here comes the delivery from Welch. He's going to swing and miss at again, another nice curveball from Jake Welch. 1-2. He seemed to be pulling that one on a string so far today.
But he's getting the batters fooled.
Yeah, he struck out Macon on that same pitch, and it's just been nasty all game long. In a good way.
Yes.
As the 1-2 pitch comes in. Swing and miss.
Again.
Got him again with that pitch, and Chris Bauer is going to strike out here to start the top of the second inning, or bottom of the second inning, apologize. So now with one out, John Kraft's going to step in.
John Kraft hitting .255 this season, has 12 hits, a home run, and 5 RBIs.
He's going to get a good piece of that one, but drives it fouled on the left side out of play, 0-1. So a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Jake Welch, and that's about as fast as you're going to see it out of the hand of Welch. He usually averages around 86 and 88, but when he reaches back, gets to 90. This will be a nice slider there, 0-1. Or 0-2, I apologize. Comes the delivery from Welch, and swing and a miss at that one. And he dusts off John Kraft for the second strikeout of the inning.
He's wheeling and dealing right now.
Yeah, he's starting to get on a roll here, and if the Hoppers don't do something to stop that, there's not much you can do. When Jake Welch gets on a roll, he's pretty much untouchable. So now Brandon Oliver's going to step to the plate.
He's hitting .259, has 7 hits and 4 RBIs.
He was part of that collision with Achenbach last inning. Again with that bender.
Man.
He front doors him with it, 0-1.
A beautiful pitch.
One pitch comes in, and he goes away with a strike, and it barely clips the strike zone. 0-2 now, and he's starting to deal here. It looks like that first inning was merely just warm-up for him. Was the 0-2 pitch. Swing and miss, and he got him.
Strikes out the side, wheeling and dealing.
He is just, what a fantastic inning from Jake Welch. And like you said, Dan, strikes out the side. And now we go to the top of the third inning with a 0-0 tie. We're due up for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. Will be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, the heart of the lineup. Robert Poller, Nick Buckner, and Hunter Woods. We'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned.
Hey, it's Matt Derry out here in right field in front of the merchandising tent and the trailer. We're having a blast. Get your USPBL gear right here. We've got 24 different kind of hats. We've got jerseys, pennants, foam figures. This Westside Woolly Mammoth jersey is straight fire. You've got to get these jerseys, these hats, everything out here in right field. And, of course, the merchandising area behind home plate in the grandstand. Check it out.
Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the third inning. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here as it's still a scoreless tie between the two teams.
And during the break, Brian, Randy Domnick was another pitcher here in USPBL, got signed to a major league contract.
Yeah, we talked in the pregame about Randy Domnick's complete game shutout. I'm sorry, not a shutout, but a complete game against the Unicorns, or against the Hoppers his last time out.
And just like Kevin Martin, he's heading to the Minnesota Twins organization.
So it'll be nice to have a familiar face when they go to the same organization, as that's going to be a ball 1-0 as DeShazer is out for his third inning of work.
Maloney went to Chicago White Sox, and then you have Kevin Matthews with the Atlanta Braves. And you said the other day you seen him in a AAA.
Yeah, he made a start in AAA. It's going to be another ball 2-0 to Pollard. And he went 4 innings and gave up 1 earned run. Struck out, I believe, 4 as well. The 2-0 pitch comes in. That's going to be a ball outside, 3-0 now.
It's like when you see him on TV, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
I caught his game.
As the 3-0 pitch comes in, it's going to be another 4-pitch walk for DeShazer.
Oh, number 6 of the ball game. Not looking good. And here's your pick for player of the game this evening, Nick Buckner.
Buckner struck out swinging his last time up, one of the 2 strikeouts for DeShazer so far in this ball game. First pitch to Buckner is going to be a strike on the outside edge, 0-1. Apparently when Buckner's at the plate, he's able to hit the strike zone. As last time Buckner was up, he hit that outside edge pretty consistently. 0-1 pitch comes in. Showing bunt there is Buckner, but he doesn't pull it back in time, so it'll be a strike, 0-2.
The Diamond Hoppers begin to have action in their bullpen, and getting loose is Jordan Pennell.
Jordan Pennell, a reliever, obviously, for the Hoppers.
He's a very strong reliever for the Hoppers.
He's been very good for them this year, and he's capable of going a lot of innings, so they're getting him ready in case DeShazer doesn't go much longer. Buckner showing bunt again on that one. It gets away from Oliver, and advancing to second base is going to be Pollard. Another wild pitch from DeShazer, the 3rd of the ball game. And the 3rd time a runner's advanced on that, too. So a runner in scoring position with 0 outs here for the Beavers in the top of the 3rd inning. They haven't been able to capitalize in the last 2 innings on a bases loaded opportunity and a runner at second base the last inning. They sometimes say 3rd time's the charm as Buckner hits that one high in the air, out of play behind home plate. And it'll be 1-2 now. DeShazer sets on the mound, takes a peek back at second base to Pollard, and here comes the 1-2. That's going to be a ball outside, and the count's going to fall even at 2 apiece. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's going to be a strike on the outside corner.
Buckner didn't like the
and
call.
And Buckner's going to be struck out looking.
That's the 2nd time.
That fastball on the outside corner seems to be Buckner's kryptonite. As he, like you said, Dan strikes out for the 2nd time today, this time looking. It's the 3rd strikeout in the 3rd inning for DeShazer as Hunter Wood will step in with a runner at second base and 1 out.
He walked his first time up, Wood.
Comes the first pitch to Wood. He's going to fly that one down the left side. Out of play, 0-1. Fouled off a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And again, DeShazer seems to be relying pretty heavily on that fastball here in today's ball game. One pitch comes in. It's going to be a ball outside. 1-1 now. I feel like I've been saying
outside a lot.
Yes. The 1-1 pitch comes in, and that's going to be over the heart of the plate. That'll be a strike 1 and 2 now. Went with the off-speed pitch that time. Looked like a slider as it broke back over the heart of the plate. Either a slider or a curveball. There was a lot of movement on that one. It's sometimes tough to tell.
Yeah, it's a really good pitch there from DeShazier.
DeShazier sets. Here comes the pitch. He's going to ground that one towards the second baseman, Stewart. Stewart has it. Will throw it on to first, and that's going to be the second out. Pollard will advance to third base on the play, however, so a productive out from Hunter Wood.
Now here's Gerard Hernandez. He had a perfect chance to get an RBI or maybe even 2. He had the bases loaded, but hit it right back to the mound of DeShazier.
Yeah, he had bases loaded. All 3 of those guys on the base paths in the first inning were on base because of walks. DeShazier having given up, I believe, 6 walks now. That runner at third base is a walk as well. Swing and a miss there at a nasty change up there from DeShazier. 0-1.
Almost spun Hernandez out of his cleats there.
Yeah, it looked like he was expecting a fastball. Instead, got something very different. 0-1 pitch is going to be a ball outside. 1-1 now. There's 2 outs here in the top of the third inning with a runner at scoring position and that third base for Gerard Hernandez. The Beavers still looking to take the lead. They've had opportunities in every inning so far. It's going to be a ball high and away, 2-1 now. They say that third time's the charm, Dan. Let's see if it pays off here for him. Here comes the pitch. And that's going to be a ball just outside. 3-1 now on Hernandez.
Yeah, that pitch just missed, Brian. Very close.
Very nearly got the strike zone on that one. Comes the 3-1. Swung on and missed there at a fastball in the outer third of the plate. Count's going to run full now, and this is a similar situation to what Gerard Hernandez had last time up. This time the bases aren't loaded. There's only 1 runner on base, but that is at third, and he's got a full count with 2 outs on him. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and DeShazier gets himself out of another dangerous situation and leaves runners in scoring position for the 3rd straight inning. So 3 innings in a row, DeShazier's gotten himself into a trouble with runners in scoring position, and 3 innings in a row he's gotten out of them. So DeShazier coming through in the clutch again, and it's still a scoreless tie as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning, where due up for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers will be Trevor Achenbach in his first ever at-bat with the USPBL, Ian Mikowski, and Ricky Castro. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom of the third inning in a scoreless tie between the Beavers and the Hoppers. And Trevor Achenbach, in his first ever USPBL at bat with the Hoppers, will try and get something going for the Hoppers here, as some fans are still filtering off the field.
Man, how about Jake Welch wheeling and dealing last inning?
Yeah, he struck out the side with 3 strikeouts, all swinging in the bottom half of the second inning, striking out Powercraft and Oliver as the first pitch to Achenbach is going to be a strike 0-1.
He's got that nasty slider, I believe it is.
Yeah, that slider out of the hand of Jake Welch has been deadly so far. As he goes to it there, 0-2 now. Sets on the mound. Here comes the pitch from Welch.
Ooh,
and got
dusted him off quickly.
That time it went off the back of Achenbach, but into the glove of Wood behind the plate, and that's going to be a strikeout to begin the third inning. Let's see if he can do it again here.
That's strikeout number 5.
And 4th one in a row here for Jake Welch. So now Ian Mikowski is going to step up to the plate.
Ian Mikowski this season's hitting .261, has 6 hits and 4 RBIs.
That first pitch to Mikowski is going to be an off-speed pitch on the outer third of the plate, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch comes in, and that's going to be inside. 1-1 now to Mikowski. This is Mikowski's first at-bat of the ball game. Went 1 for 3 back on Saturday the 22nd with a base hit and a stolen base as well. 2-1 now in Mikowski. Comes the delivery from Jake Welch. A swing and a miss there to 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Low in the zone. 2-2 now. Jake Welch sets. Here's the delivery. That'll be a ball too low. 2-2 now. Or 3-2, I apologize. Full count on Mikowski. See if he can't fool him here and get his 5th consecutive strikeout. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be driven into the net behind home plate, almost over top of the net. Mikowski doing a good job of staying alive. This is the biggest fight that Jake Welch has had in an at-bat yet, and it's only 6 pitches. Jake Welch delivers the 3-2 pitch again. It's going to be a ground ball over to Martinez. Oh, Martinez going to misplay it down there at short, and that will allow Mikowski to reach first base.
Yeah, it is an error. Second error of the ball game for the Beavers.
So that'll allow a man on with 1 out here as Ricky Castro will come to the plate.
That first error came because of Dan Kennan's bad throw over back to first. This time it's DJ Martinez. Couldn't corral the ball.
Looks like DJ Martinez was probably thinking a step ahead, I'd imagine. Was probably already in the process of thinking about the throw before he had the ball. It's a mistake that everyone makes. Breaking for second base is Ian Mikowski. The throw in is going to be low and not in time. And Ian Mikowski is going to steal second base successfully. Ian Mikowski, probably the fastest base runner in the league.
Yes, he is.
The guy can absolutely fly base to base.
He's got the wheels.
So now there's a runner in scoring position for Ricky Castro with 1 out. As the Hoppers look to take the lead here in the bottom of the third inning. So the 1-0 pitch comes in. That's going to be a ball outside, 2-0. 90-mile-an-hour fastball to the glove of Jake Welch. He's going to keep an eye on Mikowski for sure now. As he looks back to second base, delivers the pitch, and another ball outside, 3-0 now. Ricky Castro having to maybe split his attention with the base runner and the batter, causing him to miss outside on some of his pitches. Kennan down there at third base is playing shallow in case of a bunt, as the 3-0 pitch is going to be on the outer third of the plate, 3-1 now. 3-1 pitch comes in. Ooh, that's going to be a ball inside. It's going to get away from Wood, and that's going to allow the base runner to advance to third base. Getting a little bit of deja vu here, Dan.
Yeah.
Because this is what happened in the first inning as well. Stewart reached on an error. Actually, it was a hit batter. So that's going to allow Castro. I'm sorry, it was not a hit batter. It was just a ball. So that's going to allow Castro to reach on a walk. But Cam Stewart in the bottom of the first inning reached on an error. Reached to second base because of that error. Then reached third base on a wild pitch. And the same thing's happening here. Mikowski reached on an error. Stole second. Then advanced to third on a wild pitch. It's going to be a meeting at the mound now as it's Paul Nochi out to have a conversation with Jake Welch and the catcher Hunter Wood. So
you mean Chris Newell?
Yes, I apologize. Chris Newell, nice catch.
Yeah, just to calm him down here because, like you said, it's deja vu looking like all over again.
Well, he's probably also discussing strategy here as he's got runners at the corners. So a double play can end it here, but Ricky Castro with a lot of speed on the base paths. They're going to have him hit into a perfect double play. Cam Stewart is coming up to bat here, and Cam Stewart also being the massive threat at the batter's box that he is.
But like you're talking about the double play situation, Castro is going to make sure that does not happen.
Wouldn't be surprised if you see Castro on the run here. Runners at the corners with one out here in the bottom of the third inning. The Hoppers look to take the lead here. Jake Welch struck out 4 consecutive before giving up an error or having a bite at reach on an error and then a walk. A swing and a miss there by Cam Stewart, and there goes Ricky Castro for second base. And that will put runners at second and third. Or Castro will retreat back to first base. Looked like it was a foul tip, so 0-1 now. To me, it looked like Stewart missed on it, but it's hard to hear the contact with the bat from up here. The 0-1 pitch comes in. There goes Castro again, and it's going to be fouled off this time. Hit and run situation, 0-2.
He's going to have to go back to first again. He's like, come on now. Yeah, Castro's getting a really big jump over there at first.
I think Jake Welch is trying to solely focus on the runner at third base because, or runner at, Cam Stewart at home because the Hoppers have been known for that double steal. They might be trying to get Ricky Castro. Yep, but that's exactly what's going on because Wood didn't even try to throw down a second base because he knew the moment he did, it was going to be Ian Mikowski from third that was going to break for home. So
good heads-up play there.
That was probably what Chris Newell came out to the mound to discuss. Comes the 1-2 pitch from Jake Welch. Swing and a miss on that one. And, God, that off-speed pitch from him, that breaking ball
beautiful.
Just keeps dusting off batters.
And that's just a strikeout Welch needed.
So
he has a perfect chance here to get out of this inning.
Yeah, he's got runners at second and third now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. And every single inning so far, except for the Hoppers in the bottom of the second, have had runners in scoring position. So both teams have had adequate number of chances to score, but have yet to do so. It's the first pitch to Macon in his second at-bat. It's going to be a ball just inside 1-0.
John Macon struck out his first time up.
Yeah, he got him with that nasty curveball. The 1-0 pitch comes in, and that's going to be left up high. 2-0 now. You got to be careful. He left an off-speed pitch high in the zone, and if you do that too often, Megan's one of those players who's going to make you pay.
Yes.
Got a lot of power in that bat, and he's been known to drive one deep from time to time as he's 4th in the league in home runs. 2-0 pitch comes in. It's going to be a ground ball foul. 2-1 now. So he just barely gets a piece of that one.
Yeah, if he didn't swing at that one, that would definitely have been ball 3.
So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners at second and third in a scoreless tie ball game between the Hoppers and the Beavers. Jake Welch sets on the mound. So the 2-1 pitch comes in. It's going to be grounded down the third base line, but foul as it heads towards the Beavers dugout. Count's going to fall even now at 2 apiece, so Jake Welch sets. Comes the 2-2 pitch. That's going to be a little bit high, and count will run full at 3-2 now.
Welch got to be careful here. He walks Mencken. He'll be bases loaded.
Lights starting to come on here at the ballpark as the shadows begin to stretch across center field. Comes the 3-2 pitch. It's going to be fouled off as Mencken stays alive.
Yeah, he barely got a piece of that ball right there.
Going to foul another one off as he continues to stay alive here. Jake Welch having some trouble getting out of a little bit of a jam here. John Mencken is just such a troublesome batter to deal with. He's been very clutch for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers so far this year.
He's hitting 352.
Coming into the game, that's second in the league in average. Him and Cam Stewart have the best averages in the league. Welch sets on the mound. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's going to be grounded over to the shortstop Martinez. He has it this time. Will make the throw down to first base, and that'll end the inning. So Jake Welch gets himself out of a jam here as he leaves runners at second and third. So after 3 innings of baseball, we'll go to the top of the fourth, where drew up for the Beavers is going to be Dan Kennan, DJ Martinez, and Thomas Rulis. Still a scoreless tie here at Jimmy John's Field. We'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned.
Got a mask on here for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the video board. Someone has a very important question to ask.
Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the fourth inning. Still a scoreless tie despite multitude of chances from both teams, where Dan Kennan will come up to bat here to lead things off in the fourth.
What's really killing DeShazer is the walks, though.
He's out for the top of the fourth inning. Yeah, the walks are definitely a problem. He's walked, I believe, 6 now in the ball game. But if you want to look for a silver lining, you look at the hits column. That's all I'm going to say. So there's throwing down there in the Hoppers bullpen. Like you said, it was Jordan Pinnell, but I think Paul Noche's he's gonna hit Dan Kennan on the first pitch.
And he's not happy about it.
So I think Paul Noche's gonna see if he can give Paul DeShazer as much as a game as he can get. Bonucci's going to signal down to the bullpen to hurry up. So it's probably going to be the end of DeShazer's day soon here.
And definitely Jordan Pinnell is the guy you want to go with. He's been a strong reliever out of Hopper's bullpen.
The first pitch to Martinez is going to show bunt, but bunt into the netting behind home plate. 0-1. Last time up, DJ Martinez struck out swinging. One of the 4 strikeouts DeShazer has so far in this ball game. Throw it on first base. Kennan's going to get back in safely. Another throw down to first. Kennan again gets back in safely. Keeping a close eye on Kennan. There's a lot of speed in this Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers lineup.
Yeah, Martinez, one of them, who's up the bat right now. Kennan is also, he has a couple stolen bases right this season.
Rulis stole 2 last night. The 0-1 pitch comes in. Martinez is going to bunt that one back towards the mound. They're going to pump the throw to first, and it's going to be a bad throw. They're going to throw down to third base, try to get, and no, they're not, as Kennan slides back in safely.
I don't really know what happened there.
I think Kruger lost it in the light of the sun, because the sun is coming across from the left field right into Kruger's eyes down there at first base. So that'll put runners at first and second base now, and or first and third base at the corners, and I'm curious how they're going to rule that one, because the throw from DeShazer was a good one, but Kruger lost in the sun, it looked like. And we wait on the official ruling for that. Meanwhile, Thomas Rulis will come to bat here in the top half of the 4th inning with runners at the corners and no outs. And again, the Beavers have a great opportunity to score a run.
Rulis walked his first time up.
First pitch to Rulis is going to be a ball outside, 1-0.
And also advanced to second on the wild pitch from DeShazer.
They're going to end up ruling that one an error. I'm going to assume it was an error on Kruger, because that throw from DeShazer didn't look bad. But that's just an assumption by me, so I'll check between innings to get the official ruling. And that's going to be a base hit over the head of the shortstop Castro. That's going to score Kennan from third base. And the Beavers finally, for the 4th time, are in their 4th opportunity to take advantage of a bases or running in scoring position situation and take the lead 1-0. So Rulis has a RBI base hit now and makes it a 1-0 ball game. So runners at first and second now. Beavers drop 1-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Clark is up to bat for his 3rd at-bat of the ball game, as he's going to have to spin out of the way of a pitch inside. He showed bunt on that one. 1-0. This is his 3rd plate appearance, but has walked in his first 2. Both of them on 4-pitch walks. Hasn't seen a pitch he could hit yet. It was the 1-0 pitch to Clark. He's going to show bunt again, but pull it back for another ball, 2-0. He's thrown 10 straight balls to DeAndre Clark so far in this ball game.
Not looking good.
Beavers finally got themselves a lead.
And I was just going to say, Jordan Pinnell still getting loosened up in the bullpen.
The sun obviously a factor for Kruger down there at first. As you can see him shielding his eyes. The throw down to second base. They try to pick off Martinez, who slides back in safely. And now it's a 3-0 count on DeAndre Clark. Comes the pitch from DeShazer. That'll be in there for a strike. 3-1 now. Clark has a chance to extend the lead here. His team already up 1-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. So the 3-1 pitch comes in. That's going to be a walk for Clark, his 3rd walk of the ball game. Here comes Paul Nochi.
And I'm thinking that was going to be it for DeShazer.
I haven't seen him signal to the bullpen. I'm keeping an eye on Pannell out there.
And it looks like it is.
Yeah, it's going to be the end of the day for DeShazer.
Not the start he wanted, though.
Yeah, he ends up going just 3 innings pitched. He's giving up. He only gave up, Dan, 1 hit, but the walks is really what killed him. He just had no control today.
He had, what is it, 7 walks?
Yeah, 7 walks in today's ball game in just 3 innings. Struck out 4 batters, hit 1 batter. He's given up 1 run, but 1 earned as of right now, but both runners on the base pads are inherited. Although he can only get 2 earned runs because the runner at second base has reached on an error. So that runner will not be attributed to anyone.
Now Jordan Pannell taking over on the mound for the Hoppers. He has 27.5 innings pitched, has 4 wins, 0 losses, 15 hits. He's given up 22 walks, has 21 strikeouts, has only given up 6 runs which were earned, an ERA of 195 and a whip of 125.
Yeah, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers are going to be relying on their strong bullpen here as Jordan Pannell comes out in the early goings. He's got to get 3 outs here with runners in scoring position. And then possibly even more as his team might need him to go deeper than that. He's perfectly capable of going in long relief. We've seen him do it before.
Yes, we have. And, you know, Jordan Pannell's, been, like you said, been in this situation before, and he's been able to get out of it as well.
So he's perfectly capable of doing it, and look for him to try and do it here. Unfortunately, it's not the inning or the outing that DeShazer wanted, coming off a strong outing in his last appearance. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you just don't. Unfortunately for DeShazer, he just didn't have it today. Meanwhile, Jake Welch has done a very good job for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. In his 3 innings of work, he's struck out 7 batters, so he struck out as many batters as Jake Welch has, as DeShazer has walked. I'm sorry, he's only struck out 6, so I apologize. 1 shy of how many DeShazer's walked. But a great showing from him so far. Let's hope he can keep it going. The only trouble he's gotten into so far today, Dan, was because of 2 errors defensively. An error from the shortstop and third baseman in the ball game have put runners in scoring position as well as wild pitches. So he and DeShazer have interesting games going where they've allowed runners in scoring position, but not many hits to go either way.
Very weird to see.
So now Brandon Raw is going to step in.
He is 0 for 2. Flew up to the center fielder.
Both times.
Ian Mikowski.
The first pitch to him is going to be a ball high 1-0.
Yeah, the perfect chance here.
Bases are loaded too.
Yeah, to increase the lead for the Beavers.
So bases are loaded with no outs here in the top of the 4th inning. A 1-0 lead for the Beavers already after the Rulis RBI single. And they have a chance to crack this one open and give themselves a pretty confident lead going to the bottom half of the inning. Pannell comes out here in relief, trying to get his team out of this bases loaded jam. The 1-1 pitch comes in. That's going to be grounded down the first base. A nice diving stop by Kruger. He'll get the force out at first base, but another run comes around to score.
What a beautiful grab there.
Nice play there by Kruger. It'll be an RBI ground out for Brandon Raw. So now Poller will step in. His team's got a 2-0 lead. Runners at second and third base. That will not be an earned run for DeShazer as DJ Martinez had reached on an error. Rob Poller's reached twice on walks so far today.
Yeah, he's hitting .333, has 6 RBIs, and a home run.
He's going to drive that one high in the air as Kruger will go into foul territory down the first base side and will run out of room as that lands in the Beavers dugout.
And he goes into the dugout as well.
Unfortunately, that doesn't count if you catch it down there, as it's considered out of play, but it's going to be 0-1 now.
But he never give up on the play.
I think he just had so much momentum that he kind of had to run into the dugout just to slow himself down. But runners at second and third, a 2-0 lead for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. RBIs from Raw and Rulis have given them that 2-0 lead. Nochi's going to signal something over to Oliver, the catcher. Actually, he's coming out to talk to the umpire.
Maybe he's talking about the fly out over in the dugout. But he didn't catch it, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm curious what they're discussing. Because there's nothing apparent to us up here in the booth.
No.
As to why they would be discussing something.
That foul ball was clearly
in the dugout, yeah. Unless they're claiming there's some kind of interference that made it so Kruger couldn't catch the ball. So Pinellas is going to set on the mound. Comes the 0-1 pitch to Pollard. It's going to be hit right back to the mound. A nice diving stop by Castro, but he wasn't able to glove it. And he's going to be safe at first base. So Pollard with an infield single will allow the third run of the inning to cross home plate. And that'll put runners at the corners here.
Now 3-0 ball game here for the Beavers.
So now Nick Buckner will come up to bat, like you said, with a 3-0 lead, and runners at the corners with still only one out here. Castro, well, Pinnell first reached for it, tried to make the play from the mound, but was unable to, and Castro made a good diving stop, but unfortunately wasn't able to glove it when he dove, and that allowed for Pollard to reach base safely.
Nick Buckner struck out twice in this ball game already.
Meanwhile, Pollard's going to try and steal second base. Going to be trying a double steal, and he's going to be out at home as Buckner unsuccessfully steals home plate, or home plate.
You mean Clark did?
Yes, DeAndre Clark as Buckner's up to bat, but a nice throw there back from the second baseman, Cam Stewart. Oliver threw down to second base, and then the throw back was right on the money, giving Oliver a good chance there. So Clark's going to be out at home, and that just leaves the runner at second base. There's a double steal attempt there. Only one was able to steal successfully. It's going to be a wild pitch there that allows Pollard to advance to third base. So we got 2 outs now. The runner at third base for Buckner.
Buckner can turn this game around for him. Like we said, he has struck out twice in this ball game, but he has a runner over there at third. Could bring him home.
As that 2-0 pitch is going to miss. 3-0 now. Buckner struck out twice so far in this ball game. It's going to be a ball low, and that's going to walk Nick Buckner. So runners at the corners again now. So now Hunter Wood will step in with 2 outs and runners at the corners. His team's got a 3-0 lead thanks to a couple productive outs. The inning was started with DeShazer on the mound. He hit a batter. Another batter reached on an error, and then an RBI base hit for Rulis. And then he walked DeAndre Clark, and that loaded the bases with a lead of 1-0. Jordan Pennell came out. He grounded out Raw, but then scored a run. An infield single from Rob Pollard scored another run. And now Buckner just walked, and now we have runners at the corners with 2 outs as they were able to cut down a run at home plate. It's 1-1 now on Hunter Wood. Pennell sets. Comes the delivery of the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be grounded back towards the mound. Castro has it as he ranges to his left, and he'll make the quick underhand toss to the second baseman Stewart, and that'll end the inning. But the Beavers finally take the lead as they now lead 3-0 going to the bottom half of the 4th inning. where the Hoppers are due up. Due up for them is going to be Mark Kruger, Chris Power, and John Kraft, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for them. We'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half, the 4th inning. It's now a 3-0 lead for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers as Mark Kruger of the Hoppers is set to lead it off.
Mark Kruger's first time up, grounded out to the third baseman, Dan Kennan. Kruger hitting .275 coming into tonight's ball game, has 2 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 19 hits.
He swings at the first pitch from Welch, and it's going to be an 0-1 count.
Man, look at that hill out there in right, Brian. It's packed tonight.
Yeah, I was just noticing that during the break that it really filled out here. It's 0-2 now on Kruger. It was a little bit of a late arriving crowd here tonight. The grandstand is about 3/4 full, but that hill is pretty much at full capacity.
A little chilly out as well.
Temperature continues to drop. Game time was 74 degrees as the 0-2 pitch comes in. Swung on and missed there by Mark Kruger, and Jake Welch is doing a great job here.
That's strikeout number 7 in this ball game.
And 7 strikeouts in 3 1/3 innings is definitely dominating. He's already gotten more strikeouts in half the amount of time than he did in his last outing.
And looks like Chris Power's day is done. He'll
be pinch hit for by Joe Maroney.
Wonder what
he's going to drive that one in the left center field. Not deep, though, as Raw comes charging in. Will make the catch. And after the wind knocked it down, it landed towards center field more. But Maroney will fly out in the first pitch he sees. So now John Kraft will step in.
He struck out his first time up.
He was one of the three strikeouts to strike out the side in order for Jake Welch back in the second inning. First pitch to him is going to be a ball low, 1-0. So the 1-0 pitch comes in. A swing and a miss there at a fastball, 1-1.
His pitches are just beautiful this evening.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of mixing up not only his pitch type, but pitch location. As the 1-1 pitch is delivered, he's going to check a swing on that one. It's going to be a ball, 2-1. He's got that filthy off-speed pitch that he's been using. That breaking ball is the 2-1 pitch.
He also has a filthy slider as well.
Comes in. He's going to drive that one on the ground towards Rulis at second. Rulis has it. We'll throw down to first, and that's going to be another 1-2-3 inning for Jake Welch as he continues to roll here in this ball game. So we go to the top of the 5th inning where the Beavers still hold a 3-0 lead as they look to extend it. Due up for them is going to be Gerard Hernandez to lead it off. Following him will be Dan Kennan and DJ Martinez. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned.
Hey, it's Matt Derry out here in right field in front of the merchandising tent and the trailer. We're having a blast. Get your USPBL gear right here. We've got 24 different kind of hats. We've got jerseys, pennants, foam figures. This Westside Woolly Mammoth jersey is straight fire. You've got to get these jerseys, these hats, everything out here in right field. And, of course, the merchandising area behind home plate in the grandstand. Check it out.
Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dolber with you here as we come to the top of the 5th inning. The Eastside Diamond Hoppers currently trail the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers 3-0 after the Beavers were able to plate home 3 runs in the 4th inning, I apologize. And Gerard Hernandez is going to lead it off here for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. First pitch to him is going to be a ball low, 1-0. So far in this ballgame, Gerard Hernandez is 0 for 2. He struck out swinging his last time up. Both times up, came up with runners in scoring position, and he ended the inning both times. This time he leads off the inning, so maybe that change will do something for him as it's 2-0 quickly on him now. Pennell still on the mound after he came in relief last inning. It's going to be a strike on the inside corner, 2-1.
He only gave up 2 runs, but none of them were earned when he came in.
Delivery of the pitch is in. Who's going to break his bat on that one and flare it into right center field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. So Hernandez shatters his bat on the hit, but ends up with a bloop single to right center field.
He'll take it anyways.
It's kind of a shame because, honestly, with how much power he shot into that one, if his bat hadn't shattered, that one might have gotten out.
Yeah. Especially with this breeze that we have tonight.
Because that swing was perfect. He squared up to it perfectly. But the bat just shattered, ended up being a bloop single, which, I mean, sure, he's probably happy with getting on base in any way, but could have tacked one on and another one on for his team. So there'll be a runner at first base for Dan Kennan now with no outs here in the top of the 4th. It's going to be fouled off by Kennan, 0-1.
Dan Kennan was hit by a pitch his last time up, and then he came around to score as well.
Yeah, Dan Kennan was one of the 3 batters that came around to score in that inning. Quick throw down to first base, and Hernandez gets back in safely.
Coming in a nice ball game, the Hoppers are first place in the East with a 16-14 record.
That also places them at first in the league because the West Division doesn't have as good of a record as either of the Unicorns or the Hoppers, if I recall correctly.
But the Beavers are also in first. They took over first in the West last night.
Yeah, it's
with the win over the Woolly Mammoths.
It's a battle of first places right now between the 2 divisions. It's an interdivision game. The 1-1 pitch comes in. Hernandez is trying to steal second base. It's a hit and run situation. He gets down to second base successfully. Takes the double play out of the situation as Kennan grounds out. Kennan grounded out to Castro, who quickly made the toss down to Kruger at first. But fortunately, Gerard Hernandez was on the move because of hit and run and reached second base safely.
Yeah, here comes a guy who reached safely his last time up, DJ Martinez, due to an error. And I believe it was on Mark Kruger.
Yeah, that was when the sun was in Kruger's eyes and he couldn't tell where the throw from DeShazer was coming from. Now, just in that 1 inning of difference there, Dan, the entire field is covered in shade now.
So no excuses.
No more excuses. So it just takes 1 inning of work and the sun will go down that much on you as the sunshine is just coating the trees along the outfield now. So the 0-1 pitch comes in. Swung on and missed there.
That was way out of the zone.
0-2.
He was chasing after that one.
Yeah, that's for sure. Nasty slider there from Pinnell. Was the 0-2 pitch. He's going to swing and miss at that one. It's going to be a drop third strike. You're going to have to throw it on to first base. Oliver had trouble finding it, and that's going to allow the runner to reach safely at first base. So Martinez will reach on a drop third strike off a poor throw from Oliver. So runners at the corners now with 1 out. And the pitchers just can't catch a break today.
No, they can't. That's just the second time, like we were just talking about DJ Martinez. He reaches safely twice now due to a couple mistakes by the Hoppers.
So now Thomas Rulis will step up with runners at the corners and 1 out. He started the 4th inning scoring and gave his team a 1-0 lead, and he's got an opportunity here to extend it. First pitch from Pinnell's in. He's going to drive that one into left field right at Chris Power. Tagging up is Hernandez. He's coming into home, and the cutoff throw is going to be stopped and not thrown to home. So that's going to be a sac fly RBI for Thomas Rulis, his second of the ball game. So it's going to make it 4-0 now for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers as Gerard Hernandez crosses home plate. And there's 2 outs now here in the top of the 5th inning with a runner at first base for DeAndre Clark. DeAndre Clark is still 0 for nothing today because he's walked in all 3 of his plate appearances, Dan.
Hey, he's just happy to get on.
So throw down first base almost gets
Ooh.
DJ Martinez.
Very close play there. Just gets in with a hand.
DeAndre Clark so far, Dan, has only seen 1 strike in today's ball game. Everything else has been a ball. Seeing 12 balls and just 1 strike out of the hand of DeShazer. And the first pitch is going to be a throw out. Martinez caught on, however, and retreated back to first. Another throw down to first base. But Martinez is going to get back in safely. The first pitch to Clark is going to be another. That one's going to be a strike, actually. 0-1. It was another situation where Oliver leaped back up to make that throw down to first. It's going to be 1-1 now on Clark. Pinnell keeping a close eye on Martinez on the base pass. Martinez with a lot of speed. There goes Martinez for second. It's a hit and run situation. It's going to be a base hit through the 5.5 hole. Running all the way to third base is going to be DJ Martinez. So on that hit and run, Martinez advances to third, and that's going to put runners at the corners now.
Now, if Castro didn't move over there to cover second, that was right in his spot. But he went over there to second, try to cover the bag.
Yeah, because of the base runner, and that's exactly what we want to do with a hit and run. So there's still 2 outs here. The runners at the corners for Brandon Raw. Brandon Raw also has an RBI so far today. So 4-0 ball game in favor of the Beavers. On the first pitch, there's going to be a throw down a second. Or, I'm sorry, there's no throw. He's going to pump the throw as Oliver was keeping an eye out for that double steal situation that the Hoppers are so, or the Beavers and the Hoppers are so fond of. So Clark gets into second base safely, and that's going to put runners at second and third now for Brandon Raw. The 1-0 pitch is going to be high, 2-0 now. Normally it's the Hoppers we see try that double steal.
Yeah.
And looks like the Beavers are taking a page out of their book as they attempted it there, but the Hoppers were wiser to the situation, and instead of throwing down a second and letting that runner to come home from third, they just kept steady. They only need one more out, so 3-0 now on Brandon Raw. The pitch from Pennell, and that's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Brandon Raw. That's going to load the bases here in the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs, and Rob Pollard, who's already got himself a RBI, could really blow this one open for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers.
And that came in his last appearance. And that was back in the 4th.
Yeah, he's 1 for 1 so far today. He walked in his first two appearances and then reached on an infield single for an RBI and then stole second. So he's been productive today. As the first pitch to him is going to be swung on and missed. Kind of a half-hearted swing from him there. 0-1.
Yeah, we've seen the Beavers have a bases loaded before, but Gerard Hernandez grounded right back to the mound to DeShazer.
DeShazer getting himself out of a jam there early.
Let's see if the Beavers can capitalize in this time around.
It's going to be a pitch inside, 1-1 now. That slider missed. So bases loaded with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Beavers have scored 1 more this inning to make it 4-0. Here comes the delivery from Pennell, and that's going to be a ball outside, 2-1. It was a sac fly from Thomas Rulis over to the left fielder, Joe Maroney. Comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there, and the count falls even at 2-2.
What a big swing there from Pollard.
Pollard seems a little bit over-eager here to get this game all tied up. Pennell sets on the mound. Here comes the 2-2. That's going to be a ball low in the dirt. 3-2 now.
It gets interesting here.
So with a 3-2 count and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning and bases loaded, the Beavers have a fantastic opportunity to blow this one wide open. See, 3-2 pitch comes in, and that's going to be a ball outside, and Pennell's going to walk in a run here and make it 5-0, and bases will still be loaded. So now Nick Buckner will come up to bat, the cleanup hitter for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. Walked in the 4th inning, but is 0 for 2 today. Striking out twice, one swinging, once looking. And once again, the bases are loaded with now a 5-0 lead for the Beavers. So first pitch is going to be in the strike zone on the outer third of the plate, 0-1. One pitch is swung on and missed there by Buckner. Got him with the changeup, 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch comes in, and that'll be just outside. Pennell taking a page out of DeShazer's book when approaching Buckner and trying to go to the outside corner.
Yeah, just missed.
So it'll be 1-2. Just barely missed. That's true. So 5-0 ball game in favor of the Beavers. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be a ball high. Count's going to fall even 2-2.
Buckner's got to be careful. He doesn't want to strike out for the 3rd time in this ball game.
That's for sure. He's got a golden opportunity to really blow this one open for his team as the 2-2 pitch comes in. It's going to be bounced in the dirt, and count's going to be full, 3-2. Last time this happened, Pollard walked.
So let's see what happens this time around.
So bases are loaded, a 3-2 count with 2 outs, and the Beavers have a 5-0 lead, looking to extend it here with Buckner at the plate. Clark down there at third will retreat back to third base after Pennell gave him a quick glance. Runners will be on the move here as the 3-2 pitch comes in. He's going to ground it over to the first baseman. Kruger has it. He's going to take it to the first base himself, tag it, and that's going to end the inning. But the Beavers do manage to score 2 more and make it a 5-0 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. So after the first half of the ball game, the Beavers have the lead, and due up in the bottom half of the 5th will be Brandon Oliver, Trevor Achenbach, and Ian Mikowski. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom of the 5th inning. We've played a half a game of baseball here at Jimmy John's Field. It's a 5-0 lead for the Beavers as the Hoppers look to mount some form of comeback here as Brandon Oliver is set to lead it off for them.
Brandon Oliver struck out his first time up, and that was back in the 2nd.
Jake Welch has done a fantastic job on the mound with the Beavers so far today.
He's been wheeling and dealing, Brian.
As that first pitch to Oliver is going to be a ball high, 1-0.
He's got some nasty pitches.
Yeah, his breaking balls have been fantastic today. There's one there. It's going to be 1-1 now.
What I mean by nasty in a good way.
Yeah, of course. He's been absolutely phenomenal. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's be 1-2 now as there's that slider again that broke over the heart of the plate. 1-2 pitch is going to be grounded towards the third baseman, Kennan. Couldn't make the stop, but Martinez has it, and he's not going to be able to make the throw down to first in time. And that's going to be an infield single for Brandon Oliver to start the inning. And that is the first hit of the ballgame for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. It's going to break the no-hitter up for Jake Welch here in the bottom of the 5th. So now Trevor Achenbach will get his second swings here in his USPBL debut.
He struck out his first time up,
That's going to be driven hard down the right side. On the run is going to be Clark, and it's going to land in the bullpen of the Beavers. So 0-1 now on Achenbach. He got a good piece on that one. Looks like he was a little bit late to it, though. That pitch is going to be another strike, 0-2. Good slider there from Jake Welch. The 0-2 pitch comes in. He's going to foul tip that one off. He'll stay alive.
Yeah, Barry got a piece of that one.
Achenbach earlier in this ballgame collided with his catcher, Brandon Oliver, in foul territory.
He's over there at first right now.
Oliver reaching on base hit. That was the first hit for the Hoppers so far today. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Welch. It's going to be fouled off down the first base side. Remain foul, or remain 0-2. Jake Welch sets on the mound. Again, the 0-2. That's going to be fouled off again down the right side. Achenbach doing a great job staying alive here after striking out swinging on 3 straight pitches in his first at-bat. The 0-2 pitch comes in, and that's going to be called strike 3.
Beautiful pitch there.
A nice pitch there by Welch as that one broke back over the plate. And he rings up Achenbach for his second strikeout today.
That's his 8th strikeout for Welch.
As he continues to roll here in the bottom of the 5th inning. As one out now with a runner at first base with Ian Mikowski up to bat.
Now Mikowski reached safely due to an error by DJ Martinez, but he also has a stolen base.
Here comes the first pitch to Mikowski. He's going to show bunt. He's going to bunt that down the third base side. Nice bunt by Mikowski.
Yes, it was.
As it's going to hit him as he throw down to first base. That's going to allow him to advance to second and Oliver to advance to third. So the throw down to first base from Dan Kennan is going to hit Mikowski, and it's going to allow him to advance to second as it ends up trickling into foul territory. And they're going to mark that one as an error. So it's going to be another error for the Beavers defense today.
But they are in the lead, 5-0. But
well, both teams have a couple errors. Beavers have 3 and the Hoppers have 1. Kind of a shame though, with Mikowski all that speed, he had a good chance of beating out the throw, but because he hit him, they're going to mark that one down as an error. So runners at second and third now for Ricky Castro, as first pitch he's going to swing at in the hands, 0-1. 0-1 pitch comes in. He's going to foul tip that one off. 0-2 now. Still one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning as the Hoppers look to mount a comeback. They got an opportunity here with runners in scoring position at second and third base. They trail by 5, but it starts with 1 run. See if they can get it here.
Ricky Castro is the perfect guy that could do it.
0-2 pitch comes in. He's going to strike him out looking. That was another nasty breaking ball. Looked like a slider that broke back over the plate.
Castro didn't like that call either. But what a nasty pitch.
His slider has been so good today. There's a lot of movement on it as it breaks back over the plate. And he just rang up Ricky Castro, who's a tough out normally.
Yes, it was.
So he's got a chance to get himself out of a little jam here. And
that's 9 strikeouts now for Jake Welch.
Yes, he's been just fantastic today.
Maroney in the 5th.
So Cam Stewart up to bat here, leading the league in average. And second in, that's going to be through the 5.5 hole, and that's your lead leader in average, who just plated 2 RBIs on that RBI base hit through the left side, plating home of Oliver and Mikowski. So Cam Stewart comes up big here in the bottom of the 5th inning, making it a 5-2 ball game. So as I was saying about him leading the league in average, he gets a base hit there for 2 RBIs. He's also third in RBIs, and that might bump him up to second now.
And he's been on a roll.
So now with a runner at first base and 2 outs, John Macon will come up to bat. It's now a 5-2 game. The Beavers still have the lead. Comes the first pitch to Macon. It's going to be fouled in the netting behind home plate, 0-1. Running for second base is Cam Stewart. It's going to be a ground ball towards the second baseman, Rulis. He's only got the 1 play at first base, but that's all he needs. Is there was 2 outs. That's going to be a ground out for John Macon to end the bottom of the 5th inning. However, the Hoppers do manage to get 2 back when Stewart was able to plate Oliver and Mikowski, making it a 5-2 ball game. When we come back, it's going to be the Beavers up to bat. Hunter Wood, Gerard Hernandez, and Dan Kenner are going to lead it off in that inning. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned.
Got a mascot here for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the video board. Someone has a very important question to ask.
Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 6th inning. The Beavers currently hold a 5-2 lead. The Hoppers got a couple back there in the bottom half of the inning, thanks to a 2 RBI single from Cam Stewart. And set to lead it off here for the Beavers is going to be Hunter Wood.
Hunter Wood ground out into fielder's choices last time up.
Yeah, so he reached base on a fielder's choice. They got the force out at second base, which was Nick Buckner, and that ended the inning.
As we wait for some of those breast cancer survivors to the field.
They got on the outfield out there to take a picture. And so now Hunter Wood will make his way to the batter's box. That pink that we started the ball game with in the batter's boxes is pretty much all gone now.
Yeah, it is.
You can spray paint the dirt, but the dirt's very loose and tends to move around. So,
but hey, it
was nice.
Still looks good on the mound, though.
Yeah, that's staying there a lot easier because not many people step on that spot.
And how about these nice skies this evening?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
the clouds are bathed in red right now because of the setting sun. It looks really nice. Hunter Wood fouls off the first pitch, 0-1.
A little chilly, but hey, still great.
0-1 pitch going to be grounded towards the second baseman Stewart, who's wrenching to his left. Will make the throw down to Kruger at first, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. So now the first baseman for the Beavers, Gerard Hernandez, will step in. Hernandez is 1 for 3 so far, finally reaching base on a base hit in the 5th inning.
He cracked his bat, too. Broke his bat, I mean.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. It looked like it could have gone the distance, honestly, based on the swing and how he was able to square up on that baseball, but it broke, and it was a bloop single to right, which, I mean, is a base hit nonetheless, but you think what could have been, you know? It's going to be 1-0 now on Hernandez after that pitch missed inside. The 1-0 pitch comes in, swung on and missed there. 1-1. Fooled him with that 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Coming back with a fastball there after first pitch off speed. The 1-1 pitch comes in, and that's going to be a fastball outside, 2-1. Dan, not only is tomorrow the WYCD Country Music Night, we also have Jake the Diamond Dog here on Sunday.
He's here. Yeah, it's going to be great to see.
I absolutely love dogs,
yes,
especially golden retrievers. The 2-1 pitch comes in. It's going to be grounded down the first base side. 2-2. Dan, today we got to meet our own
we did.
bat dog. He's about 5-month-old golden retriever puppy. And
yeah, he's just...
Oh, he's adorable.
Yeah, he is.
He's just a bundle of joy. All he wants is everyone's attention.
And I believe you could still vote for a name for him for next season.
So the 2-2 pitch comes in, and that's going to be flied into foul territory down on the left side, out of play, 2-2.
A couple names came across, like JJ, I was hearing.
Yeah, that was in first place right now, which it's Jimmy John's Field, so JJ's a good name, I feel. I think shortstop was also there. So a couple of good names.
Catch it as well?
Yeah, catch it, yep, as that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Pinnell bobbles it, but he's still got time. Makes the underhand throw down to Kruger, and that's going to be 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning.
That was also a low toss as well.
Didn't seem there was much of a sense of urgency. It seemed like Pinnell was pretty confident he was going to get the out, so maybe that was the cause of the weak throw. So Dan Kennan will step up to bat now.
Yeah, but Jake the Diamond Dog, he's been all over the place.
Dan Kennan looking to rectify a little bit of a rough outing he's had today. He's had 2 errors today defensively, as that's going to be a ball down low and inside, 1-0. And he is 0 for 2. The only time he's reached base today was being hit by a pitch. He's going to ground that one over to Castro, and Castro will throw down to Kruger.
And this is just what the Hoppers needed.
Yeah, it's exactly what the Hoppers needed, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Pinnell and his Eastside Diamond Hoppers, as looks like they're carrying a little bit of momentum from those 2 runs they got in the bottom of the 5th. So we'll go to the bottom of the 6th now, where a due up for the Hoppers is going to be Mark Kruger, Joe Maroney, and John Crafts. We'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the 6th inning. We're due up for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers is Mark Kruger.
Mark Kruger struck out his last time up. He's currently 0 for 2 tonight. Ground out his first time to the third baseman, Dan Kennan.
The first pitch is going to be a strike 0-1.
Jake Welch has been very impressive this evening.
That 0-1 pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 1-1. Yeah, he was solid through the first 4. Ran into a bit of trouble in the 5th, though, giving up 2 earned runs. Or actually only 1 earned run. I apologize, as the 1 reached on an error.
His pitches are just downright nasty.
As Kruger fouls off that one, 1-2.
Nasty slider, nasty curveball. And that's all, and that's in a good way.
1-2 pitch comes in. He's going to ground that one towards the second baseman, Rulis. Rulis ranging to his left. It will throw down to Hernandez at first, and it's going to be
another
error there by the defense on the Beavers' part.
That
and
is
their 4th.
Yeah.
Their 4th error, and Rulis had that one too. So Kruger's going to get in a scoring position thanks to the error. And Jake Welch not getting any favors from his defense in today's game. Joe Maroney, who pinch hit for Chris Power in the 4th inning, will come up to bat now. The runner in scoring position and no outs. He's playing left field right now, taking over for where Chris Power was.
Maroney coming to tonight's ball game. He's hitting 180. It's 11 hits and 4 RBIs.
Shows bunt at that first pitch there, but pulls it back for a ball, 1-0.
I'm kind of curious why he came in for Power.
Perhaps a matchup. Perhaps Maroney's got better numbers against
That
Pinnell
is true.
or Jake Welch in the long run.
Hopefully there's no injury or anything to Power.
Maroney showing bunt. He will pull it back for a ball, 2-0.
Still curious about Nick Wilson not being in the lineup as well.
Could be an injury, could be giving him a rest. We were not entirely sure. Joe Maroney on his first at-bat back in the 4th inning flew out to the center fielder on the first pitch he saw. As the 2-0 pitch comes in, he's going to pull back bunt again, 3-0. He's got a runner at second position, or second base now. Jake Welch sets on the mound. So the 3-0 pitch comes in. That's going to be a ball high, and it's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Joe Maroney. And we got runners at first and second with no outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Got some arms thrown down there in the bullpen for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers as John Kraft makes his way up to the batter's box as Paul Noche is actually having a conversation with Kraft real quick. It's a right-hander thrown in the bullpen for the Beavers right now.
It looks like James Ball is warming up for the Beavers.
I can confirm that is James Ball. He has a
that beard of his.
massive beard.
Comparing to like a Justin, what is it?
Brian Wilson.
Brian Wilson, yeah.
You're
Justin,
you're
thinking of
thinking of the
Tigers,
Tigers.
yeah.
When he joined the league, he put that down as his player he looked up to, and it's not hard to see why.
No, yeah.
Brian Wilson was quite the character when he was in the league, the MLB. So John Kraft steps into the batter's box for his 3rd at-bat of the ball game. He's got runners at first and second with no outs. His team's trailing by 3 runs. He can score one here and cut that deficit down even further as he checks a swing at the first pitch to him, and it's going to be a strike 0-1 as they say he went around. John Kraft not pleased with that call as he throws his arms up going, what was that? Welch sets on the mound. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Showing bunt there is Kraft. He's going to only have the one throw down at first base. Hernandez has it, and that's going to be the first out. Productive out there from John Kraft as he moves the runners up to second and third base now. So now Brandon Oliver will step in. He broke up Welch's no-hitter in the 5th inning, eventually coming around to score as well on that 2 RBI single from Cam Stewart. It's the first pitch to Oliver, the at-bat. It's going to be flied out to right field. Backing up is Clark. Have to make a quick throw down to third or home plate, and the cutoff man is going to stop it there. So it's going to be a sac fly RBI for Brendan Oliver. He flies that one out to right field. And that's going to make it a 5-3 ball game. 2 outs now. And the Hoppers are slowly chipping away at this Beavers lead as they try to get back in this ball game.
He has a perfect chance here to get his first hit and an RBI.
He's got a runner at third base now with 2 outs. Achenbach looking to get his first hit and RBI like you mentioned, Dan. He's going to drive that one fairly deep into left center field, but not deep enough as the wind knocks it down and Raw makes the catch. And that's going to do it here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They chip away at the lead and get another run back, making it a 5-3 ball game. And coming to the top of the 7th inning, it's going to be the shortstop DJ Martinez set to lead it off. Following him be Thomas Rulis and then Denandre Clark. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned.
Hey, it's Matt Derry out here in right field in front of the merchandising tent and the trailer. We're having a blast. Get your USPBL gear right here. We've got 24 different kind of hats. We've got jerseys, pennants, foam figures. This Westside Woolly Mammoths jersey is straight fire. You've got to get these jerseys, these hats, everything out here in right field. And, of course, the merchandising area behind home plate in the grandstand. Check it out.
Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 7th inning. It's now a 5-3 lead for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers as the Hoppers continue to chip away at that lead. And it's going to be DJ Martinez set to lead it off for him here as Jordan Pennell is still on the mound. As that first pitch is going to be a ball high and away, 1-0. That 1-0 pitch is going to be another ball outside, 2-0. He went back to the fastball that time, but still missed. Welch sets. Here comes the delivery of the 2-0. He's going to foul that one in the netting behind home plate. And it makes it 2-1 now.
Martinez reached safety on a third drop strike his last time up.
Yeah, he swung and missed. Well, it's a drop third strike, so you can imagine what happened as he fouls that one off. Kruger on the run and is going to run out of space. Count's going to fall even 2-2. So you can imagine what happened, but Oliver lost it in his feet, and DJ Martinez, while at speed, was able to run out the throw
and
down
he
to first
also
base.
reached safety before that due to an error on Trevor Achenbach. Actually,
That was
correction, Mark Kruger.
Yeah,
first.
That was the throw from DeShazer.
Yep.
That was in. Kruger was facing the sun at the time. That's going to be a base hit up the middle from DJ Martinez. A great diving attempt from Cam Stewart there. Got to give him an A for effort, but it just slides past him. And a base hit up the middle for DJ Martinez will put a runner at first base to lead things off this inning. So with 1 on and no outs here, it's going to be Thomas Rulis up as the Beavers look to score a run here and get one of those runs back that they lost last inning. Pennell had a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. It looked like he was going to start getting into a routine. As Thomas Rulis steps in, he's going to fly that first pitch he sees down the left side. Got good contact on it, but it looked like he got a little bit out in front or a little bit behind it. And he whacked it down towards the left field patio. Comes the 0-1 pitch to Rulis, and that's going to be a strike on the outer third of the plate, 0-2. Pennell electing to go back to the fastball. Martinez with a decent lead. They're going to throw back down there, but he's just going to jog back in. Some action down there in the Eastside Diamond Hoppers bullpen now. As the 0-2 pitch comes in, he's going to hit that one over the head of Castro. That's going to be a base hit in the left field. So 2 base hits to start off the inning. And that puts a runner in scoring position for the Beavers here in the top of the 7th.
I think it's Michael Gomez warming right now in the Eastside Diamond Hoppers bullpen.
The manager, Paul Noce, going with all the power arms, it looks like, out of the bullpen for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Michael Gomez has had a good season so far as well. Hit a rough patch for a while, but has been good in his last few appearances. Andre Clark will step in now, and Clark's had an interesting ball game, hasn't he, Dan?
Yes, he has. He's walked 3 times, but then reached his last time on a hit.
Also stole second base. That's going to be a wild pitch there as Oliver could not find it. It actually hopped right up into the air, and he thought it went behind him, so he ran towards the backstop, but the pitch was still at home plate. So 1-0 now on Clark, and the runners advance to second and third, and they're going to intentionally walk Clark after the runners advance, and that's going to load the bases.
Walk for Clark.
Yeah, his 4th walk today, and that's just his first intentional walk. So now Brandon Raw is going to step up with bases loaded, and Brandon Raw has a lot of power in that bat, and maybe he can see something interesting as Paul Noce is going to trot his way out to the mound.
Yeah, Raw walked his last time up, but he also has a ground-out RBI in this ballgame as well. I think this will talk things over to get Michael Gomez a few more pitches there in the bullpen.
With no outs and bases loaded, and the heart of the Beavers lineup up, it's going to be interesting to see what Pennell can do. He's got the talent to get himself out of the jam. We've seen him in this league multiple times get himself out of jams, and let's hope he can do that here. So first pitch to Raw is going to be a ball low, 1-0. If he can get Raw to strike out and then get Pennell hit into a double play, that would be ideal. But obviously, in baseball, most of the time, nothing goes as planned. It's going to be rare you see Raw strike out as well as the 1-0 pitch comes in. That's going to be a ball low, 2-0. Looks like he's trying to get him to roll over on a pitch and ground it for the double play and just give up the 1 run. Corner infielders are in to try and cut that run home cut that run down at home plate. It's going to be 2-1 now.
Looked like Raw was going golfing there.
He definitely chased the pitch low and away that time. So runners at every base with no outs here in the top of the 7th inning. The Beavers can add on to their lead and extend it again after giving up 3 runs the past couple innings. The 2-1 pitch comes in, and that's going to be a ball low and away. 3-1 now to Brandon Raw, and Pennell threatens to walk a runner in with bases loaded.
And I'm thinking if he does, it might be it for him.
I'm having the same idea. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That's going to be a ball high and inside. That's going to walk a run in, and bases are still going to be loaded, so it's now going to be a 6-3 ball game.
And yeah, it looks like it will be, as Paul Nochi is heading back up to the mound.
So that's going to be a RBI walk for Brandon Raw.
Hey fans, make sure you come back tomorrow for Jake the Diamond Dog, presented by Dogtopia. Dogtopia, and it's also a wild WYCD country music night as the Woolly Mammoths take out the Unicorns. Game time is 7:05. And what would be better than seeing Jake the Diamond Dog?
Correction, it doesn't look like Michael. It's going to be Michael Stafford on the mound instead of Michael Gomez.
Well, you got the first name right at least, so good job on that.
It's hard to see, with these pink jerseys, how they're very
just
beautiful tonight.
I'm just teasing you.
I'm just saying, these jerseys tonight are gorgeous, but, the numbering is just,
It's hard to read,
yeah.
even with our handy-dandy binoculars.
You're handy-dandy binoculars. You're using mine for the first part of the season a little bit.
Well, I upgraded us.
Yes, thankfully.
As Michael Stafford warms up on the mound. Jordan Pennell goes 3 innings pitched. He gives up 5 runs, all of which were, not all of which were earned. I'm trying to calculate that right now. It appears that only 4 were earned for him. And Pennell goes 3 innings pitched, gives up 5 runs, 4 earned. He gives up five hits. He walks 4 batters and strikes out just 1. So not an ideal outing for Jordan
No,
Pennell,
not
and
at
that's
all.
going to rough up his ERA a
We're
bit.
not used to seeing that type of Pennell.
So now Michael Stafford on the mound, and here comes the first pitch, as this going to be a ball high, 1-0.
In 18.5 innings pitched for Stafford this season, he has 0 wins, 2 losses. Has given up 18 hits, 17 walks, 22 strikeouts he has. He's given up 22 runs, which 21 of them were earned. And he has an ERA of 10 and whip of 194.
It's going to be 1-1 now on Pollard. And Stafford coming out here with a bases loaded situation, and no outs, looking to get his team out of a jam, could do wonders for his confidence and his ERA. As the 1-1 pitch is going to miss outside, 2-1. Bases still loaded here with no outs in the top of the 7th inning. It's a 6-3 lead for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers after they walked in a run. That RBI attributed to Brandon Raw, exuding patience at the plate and drawing a walk to walk in a run. 2-1 pitch comes in. It's going to be a ball high, 3-1 now.
It's been a struggling night for the Hoppers.
Yeah, they started to chip away at that lead in the 5th and the 6th, getting 3 runs across home plate, taking advantage of some errors by the Beavers. But now they gave up another run here, and the lead goes back to a 3-run lead. And swinging a miss there by Pollard, and that's going to make it 3-2.
I think if he didn't swing at that one, that would have been ball 4.
It was definitely on the inside third of the plate. It was close to being called a strike or a ball either way. I think it was going to be a close call. As Stafford sets in the mound. Here comes the 3-2 pitch, and that's going to be a ball high, and that's going to walk in another run. So that's going to be another earned run for Jordan Pennell.
looks like we have a pinch hitter here for Buckner.
And Mike Metashevsky's going to pinch hit for Buckner here, as Buckner has gone 0 for 3 today and only got on base due to a walk. First pitch to him is going to be a strike, 0-1. All runners on base were inherited for Stafford, except for the runner at first now, after he walked in that last run. 0-1 now on Metashevsky. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. He's going to check a swing on that one. They're going to appeal down to the umpire and say he didn't go, so 1-1 now. Comes the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be a ball outside. 2-1 now to Mike Metashevsky. Metashevsky didn't play in last night's game. So the 2-1 pitch comes in, and that's going to be a strike on the inner third of the plate. 2-2. Stafford goes to the fastball there. The delivery from Stafford is in. It's going to be fouled off by Metashevsky. It's going to remain 2-2 now. In case you're just tuning in, the Beavers got out to a 3-0 lead in the fourth inning thanks to a RBI single from Pauler, an RBI ground out from Raw, and an RBI single from Rulis. Then in the fourth, they tacked on, then in the fifth, they tacked on 2 more runs, making it 5-0 as Metashevsky swings and misses at that pitch and goes down on strikes, and that's going to be the first out of this inning. Then in the bottom of the fifth inning, the Hoppers finally got on the board, bringing in 2 runs thanks to a 2 RBI single from Cam Stewart. In the bottom of the sixth, they scored another run on a sac fly RBI from Oliver, making it 5-3, and now 2 more runs have crossed home plate here to make it 7-3, thanks to 2 bases loaded walks, one from Pennell and one from Stafford. Here comes the first pitch to Wood. He's going to foul that one off down the right side, out of play, 0-1. Underwood sets. Here comes the delivery. He's going to hit that one back to the second baseman. Oh, Cam Stewart's not going to be able to get it, and a run's going to come across, and everyone's going to be safe. So here, if they score that one as a error or a hit, probably going to go down as an error, as Cam Stewart should have had that one, but it was a hot shot right in and out of his glove. But it's going to be 8-3 ball game now after.
The bases are still loaded.
Yes, they are, Dan, and that one's gonna really sting there with 1 out, and now it's a 8-3 lead, and the Hoppers seemingly having all their momentum drained here as Hernandez swings and misses at that pitch, making it 0-1. So 0-1 now on Hernandez. Oh, 1 pitch going to be high, 1-1.
And the Beavers are starting to blow this game wide open here.
Yeah, it looked like it was getting dicey a little bit there for them and their defense, as there was a couple defensive lapses there, making it a 5-3 game, but now they have a 5-run lead yet again after scoring 3 runs here in the top of the 7th, and that's going to make it 1-2 now after Hernandez fouls that one off. And that will go down as an error on Cam Stewart's part. So it'll be an E4. The second error of the game for the Hoppers. Both teams with quite a few errors in today's game. So the 1-2 pitch comes in, and it's going to be fouled in the netting behind home plate. Still going to be 1-2. Bases loaded with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Beavers already brought in 2 runs, making it, or 3 runs, making it 8-3. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. He's going to swing and miss at a ball in the dirt way outside. Don't know what he thought he was swinging at there, but that's going to be the second strikeout of the inning.
That's the second time Gerard Hernandez gone chasing.
Yeah, that one was way outside in the dirt, and I don't know what he thought he saw, but he goes down on strikes. And there's going to be 2 outs now for Dan Kennan. Bases are still loaded. Still 2 outs. 8-3 lead for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers over the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. So first pitch to Kennan is going to be a ball inside, 1-0. Stafford sets. Here comes the delivery of the pitch. It's going to be a changeup outside, 2-0 now. Be fouled in the netting behind home plate, make it 2-1 now, as Kennan makes contact there on that 89-mile-an-hour fastball. It's going to be a ground ball towards the shortstop, a trickler, and it's going to be a tough play at first base, but Castro off balance, makes the throw down to Kruger, and that's finally going to end the inning.
He made it look easy, too.
So now the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers tack on 3 more runs and make it in an 8-3 lead over top of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers going to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Due up for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers in the bottom half of the 7th is going to be the top of the lineup. Well, starting off with the number 9 hitter, Ian Mikowski, then the top of the lineup, Ricky Castro and Cam Stewart. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Jimmy John's Field as we approach the bottom of the 7th inning. Seth Brenner on the mound for Jake Welch after his day is done.
What an outstanding start for Jake Welch.
Yeah, he ran into a bit of trouble in the 5th and 6th innings, but only 1 earned run for him, as 2 of the runners that crossed home plate only reached because of errors on his defense part. So he goes 6 inning pitched, gives up 1 earned run and 2 hits. Walking just
2 batters, looks like.
Looks like you're right there. 2 batters in this ball game, and then striking out, what was it, 7 batters?
I have 9. Wait.
You're right, 9 batters.
Yes.
So he took his performance from last game and improved on it. His last game, go ahead.
Oh, no, you can go. Finish
Okay,
up.
last game he went 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run with 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. He cut down on his walks, increased on strikeouts, and cut down on his hits in this ball game. He went 6 innings today with 2 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. So a great inning for Jake Welch, and I'm sure you're about to bring the stats for Seth Brenner, right?
Yeah, right. You got that right. Well, after coming over from the Unicorns, he has 8 innings pitched. He has given up 7 hits, only given up 4 walks, 13 strikeouts. He has given up 1 run, which was earned, an ERA of 113 and a whip of 114.
Meanwhile, while you're going down the stat line for Seth Brenner, Ian Mikowski grounds out. A fantastic play by Rulis there as he had to range to his right and snag a ball on its second hop and then throw down to first to just barely beat the runner by about half a step. So Mikowski grounds out to start the inning, and now Ricky Castro is going to step in here. We saw Seth Brenner last night, did we not, Dan?
Yes, we did, Brian.
And last night's game, he went 1 inning pitch with 2 hits, no walks, and 1 strikeout. So a great, almost I would say debut, as I think that's the first time we've seen him publicly with the Beavers. So let's see if he can keep that rolling here.
Yeah, he has 8 innings pitched right now for the Beavers.
So 0-1 now on Castro. Here comes the pitch from Brenner. It's going to be flied in, out of play. 0-2 over the netting.
But they play those close games during the week to get some more reps in and also increase their stats lines as well.
Yeah, Seth Brenner actually started the season as a starter. He ran into some trouble there. He was okay as he flies that one into foul territory. Castro again, making it 1-2.
Fans are very active this evening.
But he fell into a reliever's role, Dan, and has really found himself a home there. He's done a good job out of the bullpen for the Unicorns and now the Beavers. So the 1-2 pitch comes in. Swing and a miss, and he dusts him off there.
Wow.
And that pitch was right over the heart of the plate. Looked like he was expecting a fastball. Instead got a breaking ball.
And you definitely a guy you want to get is Castro. Now let's see if he can get Cam Stewart, who's leading the league right now.
Yeah, he has 2 RBIs on today's ball game. He's 1 for 3. That 2 RBI base hit came back in the 5th inning in his last at bat. As the first pitch to Stewart's coming in, that's going to be a ball way outside. Looked like he released it a tad early there, 1-0. There's a 1-0 pitch from Stewart. That's going to be another 80-mile-an-hour pitch, off-speed pitch, 2-0 now. That was outside. The 2-0 pitch comes in, swing and a miss there at an 85-mile-an-hour fastball, 2-1. Still some action down there in the Beavers bullpen. Looks like a sidearm thrower is up as that's going to be flied into right field. Maybe in the foul territory. On the run is Clark, and against the wall, over the wall, into the bullpen.
Does he make the catch, though?
That's what I'm wondering. They're signaling
no. Ooh.
Got to give him A for effort on that one as he tumbles over the wall into the bullpen for the Beavers.
Telling you, Clark does it all, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And now it's 2-2 on Cam Stewart after that valiant effort from Clark.
He just has fun out there.
He definitely has the passion.
Never gives up on the play.
So a 2-2 count with 2 outs on Cam Stewart. As the Hoppers look to keep the momentum going from the last few innings. They give up 3 runs in the top of the 7th as he fouls that one behind home plate, out of play. They had something going in the 5th and 6th, scoring 3 runs in those 2 innings and mounting a little bit of a comeback, making it 5-3, but they gave up 3 runs in the top of the 7th. And so now they're back down 5 runs yet again, back to square one. So the 2-2 pitch comes in, and that was a nice curveball there from Seth Brenner. Cam Stewart just barely getting a piece of it. It's 2-2 still. Here comes the pitch to Stewart. He's going to ground that one foul on the third base line. Got a good piece of it, but swung just a little bit early. Comes the pitch from Brenner. 2-2 pitch swung on and missed, and that's going to end the inning. So Seth Brenner comes in and has a 1-2-3 inning here and stunting any momentum that the Hoppers had left here in the bottom of the 7th. So we go to the top of the 8th inning. We're due up for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. It's going to be DJ Martinez, Thomas Rulis, and then DeNandre Clark. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned.
Hey, it's Matt Derry out here in right field in front of the merchandising tent and the trailer. We're having a blast. Get your USPBL gear right here. We've got 24 different kind of hats. We've got jerseys, pennants, foam figures. This Westside Woolly Mammoths jersey is straight fire. You've got to get these jerseys, these hats, everything out here in right field. And, of course, the merchandising area behind home plate in the grandstand. Check it out. Hey, it's Matt.
Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 8th inning. We're due up for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. To lead it off is going to be DJ Martinez.
And we have a new pitcher for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers on the mound now.
Yes, we do. As Michael Stafford's day is done, he goes 1 inning of work. He gives up no hits, 2 runs, none of which were earned as they were inherited from Pinnell. Gives up just 1 walk and strikes out 2. One of those runners crossed home plate due to an error, so not a bad performance from Stafford. He gives up 2 runs, but again, neither of which were earned. The 0-1 pitch to Martinez is going to be fouled off down the right side, making it 0-2.
Yeah, Palm takes over on the mound, and he's from West Branch, Michigan. He only has 1 inning pitch so far for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers this season. He's only given up 2 hits, has given up 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He has 1 run he has given up, which was earned. An ERA of 9 and a whip of 3.
Be 1-2 now. So he's still new to the league,
yes,
and he's running into some trouble here as early as the goings in his early career here with the league. But let's hope this outing can improve on that. 2-2 now as that last pitch missed outside and low.
It's been a really struggling night for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers pitching.
Yeah, all their pitchers have given up at least 1 run. The 2-2 pitch going to be grounded over to the shortstop Castro. Throw down to first going to be in time, and that's going to be the first out of the inning as DJ Martinez grounds out to the shortstop Ricky Castro. Yeah, Michael Stafford gave up 2 runs. He's the only pitcher in today's ballgame that doesn't have an earned run against him, though. So now Thomas Rulis will come up to bat with no man on and 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning.
He had a hit his last inning. He also has 2 RBIs in this ballgame.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2 today, actually. He reached on a walk in the 2nd, a base hit RBI in the 4th, sac fly RBI in the 5th, and then a base hit in the 7th, and he's scored 2 runs of his own. So he's had a very productive day and is definitely in the running for player of the game. As he fouls out the first pitch, he saw it on the right field line, then it's going to be 0-1. As Palm sets on the mound, here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's going to be fouled down the left side this time into the netting. 0-2. Rulis has had himself quite a good couple of nights here, hasn't he, Dan?
Yes, he has. And you went with him last night.
Yeah, last night he was my pick for player of the game. He went 2 for 4 last night with 2 singles and 2 stolen bases. Tonight he's got himself 2 RBIs and is 2 for 2. As this going to be a ball outside, 1 for 2 now. One-two pitch is going to be a ball 2-2 now to Rulis. Palm sets on the mound, gets ready to deliver the pitch. Here's the 2-2. That's going to be a ball inside. Full count now to Rulis. Full count with 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. No man on. Here comes the 3-2. He's going to drive that one towards the gap in right center field. That's going to be down for a base hit as Mankin gets to it. And now Rulis is on here, the 1 out. So DeAndre Clark is going to step in here.
DeAndre Clark's been very active this evening on the base pads. Most of it's been due to walks. He had a hit, though, back in the 5th inning. And he also has a stolen base as well.
First pitch to Clark's going to be a ball outside. It's going to get away from Oliver running to second base as Rulis, and he'll get in there on a trot. He rounds second and stops there. So another wild pitch from the Hoppers today is going to allow another runner to advance into scoring position. The 1-0 pitch comes in, and that one's going to be Scott in the foul territory down the left side. Count will fall even at 1 apiece now. DeAndre Clark has had an interesting night now, hasn't he, Dan?
Yes. Yeah, like I was just mentioning, he's been on due to walks mainly, but then had a hit back in the 5th.
Yeah, 1 for 1 with 4 walks today. And that's got to be some kind of record.
Yes.
That's going to be grounded over to the second baseman, Stewart. He has it, ranging to his left, makes the throw down to Kruger at first, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. Will advance the runner to the third base, however.
Not only that, he has also a stolen base as well.
That's also the first time that Clark won't reach base safely in today's ball game on that ground out. He's had 6 plate appearances in 8 innings now. He only hasn't, the only 2 innings he hasn't come up to the plate has been the 3rd and the 6th. So now Brandon Raw will step in with a runner in scoring position at third base and a chance to extend the lead even further to 9-3. Comes the first pitch to Raw. It's going to be a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Nice fastball location there from Palm. Palm looks to have a scoreless inning here and right the tracks here for the Hoppers. So that's going to be a ball outside, 1-1. If he gets that final out, he'll strand a runner at third base and do just that. One pitch comes in. It's going to be a ball outside, 2-1 now. Another fastball misses. Palm sets on the mound. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. He's going to ground that one over to Castro. Castro handles it. He'll throw it down to first base. Kruger has that, and that'll end the inning. So the Beavers threaten but don't score. Palm gets himself out of a tiny little jam, and it's going to remain 8-3. So when we come back to the bottom of the 8th inning, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers are going to have John Mankin due up. Following him will be Mark Kruger and Joe Maroney. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom of the 8th inning. We're due up for the Hoppers as John Macon. They trail by 5 runs.
And we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Beavers.
Yeah, Seth Brenner went one inning of work, gave up no hits, no runs, no walks, and struck out 2. So a great job out of the bullpen for Seth Brenner. It's Brian Heldman on the mound now, Dan.
Yeah, Brian Heldman so far this season for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. He has 10.5 innings pitched. He has 1 win, 2 losses, given up 18 hits. He's given up 6 walks. Has 13 strikeouts, given up 16 runs. 15 of them were earned, and has an ERA of 12.
So just 12 even?
Well, I'm wrong. 12.66.
Ah, you're rounding. 0-1 now on Macon. I was going to say, it's rare that you see an ERA that rounds out nicely.
Sorry, I lied there a little bit.
It's all right. Yes, that was a nasty, absolutely nasty. It looked like a curveball there. 1-1 is that one. Started way outside and broke right over the heart of the plate.
You know, Heldman has that type of sidearm style of pitching.
Yeah, it looks like a 3/4 arm slot. It's almost a submarine, but not quite. 2-1 now. When he's on, he's a force to be reckoned with on the mound. That pitching style makes him hard to hit when he's on the top of his game, but it's been rough for him this year. He's got so much potential with that arm and the types of pitches he does have. That's going to be a broken bat by John Macon. Bat goes as far as the ball does. This is going to be a grounder to short, and Martinez fields it over to Hernandez for the first out. Macon snapping his bat on that one. The bat went in the same direction as the ball, and both of them went out to Martinez at short. So now Mark Kruger will step in with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Mark Kruger reached safely his last time out due to an error.
Yeah, it was the error committed by Thomas Rulis. He reached all the way to second base before coming around to score thanks to a sacrifice RBI by Brandon Oliver. Comes the first pitch to Kruger, and that's going to be a ball outside, 1-0.
For all you Tigers fans out there, Tigers are down 6-5 in the 9th.
I could have lived without knowing that. They've just been so...
I mean, they had the lead most of the night.
Yeah, then a 3-run home run from who, Altuve?
Yeah.
1-0 pitch comes in, and that's going to be a strike.
That short little guy that's doing a lot of damage.
1-1. I swear that pitch was rising there.
Yeah, it is.
They say you can't have a rising fastball. That one surely looked like it, though.
Yeah, it did.
As the 1-1 pitch comes in. It's going to be fouled off to the left side. 1-2 now to Kruger.
How about when the Tigers got rid of J.D. Martinez? He's been destroying it.
Can we not talk about that either? I'm going to cry. What's that, 4 home runs or 3 home runs?
I think it's 5. He had a grand slam the other night.
Oh, gosh. It hurts just to think about. I'm going to miss him.
Yep.
I'll be rooting for the Diamondbacks. Meanwhile, Kruger strikes out looking, taking a called third strike from Brian Heldman. And
beautiful pitch there from Heldman.
Yeah, he got the first 2 batters out in this inning, and now Joe Maroney, who pinch hit for power in the 4th inning, will come up to bat. And that first pitch to Maroney is going to be a strike, 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch is going to miss outside. 1-1 now. Heldman has such an odd delivery that it's so hard to figure out what pitches he's throwing, even from up here. That last one was 88 miles an hour. I'm assuming that was either a slider or a changeup, but it's hard to tell because
it is. His
the
pitching style,
with the sidearm, it's hard to tell as that one's going to be driven to left field.
But
and Pollar's going to catch that out there, and that's going to end the inning. So that's a 1-2-3 inning for Brian Heldman, and that'll help bring that ERA down. Good performance from him as the good performances continue out of the bullpen for the Beavers. So we go to the top of the 9th inning where due up for the Beavers is going to be Rob Poller, Mike Metashevsky, and Hunter Woods. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned.
Got a mascot here for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the video board. Someone has a very important question to ask.
Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 9th inning. We're due up, or bottom half of the top half of the 9th inning. I was right the first time. We're due up for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers will be Robert Poller. It was such a fast bottom half of the 8th that I forgot there for a second.
It's been all Beavers this evening.
That's for sure. Poller's had himself quite a game so far, hasn't he, Dan?
Yes, he has.
He's another batter that's 1 for 1 today.
He has 2 RBIs as well.
Just like Clark, he has been walked 4 times today. And, yeah, like you said, he's got 2 RBIs, too. And that's going to be a strike 0-1.
They're making it hard on us to pick their player of the game here.
That's for sure. That's going to be a ground ball down on the first base side. Kruger has it. They're going to make the underhand toss to Tyler Palm, and that is going to be the first out of this inning. So 1 out and no man on, and Mike Metashevsky's going to step up here. He pinch hit for Buckner in the 7th inning.
And actually, it's going to be Robert Lucido now.
So we're going to have another pinch hitter, and Lucido is going to be in now.
They're doing this to us, Brian.
So 3 different batters have hit out of that number 4 cleanup spot today. The 0-1 pitch is going to be a strike on the outside edge. 0-2 now. Lucido comes into today batting .233 with 1 home run and 7 RBIs. Just got 10 hits on the season so far. 0-2 pitch. That's going to get away from Oliver. 1-2 now. No men on base, though, so no harm done. Comes the 1-2, and that's going to be another ball outside, another fastball from Palm. That's going to make it 2-2. The 2-2 pitch comes in. That's going to be a ball low. Count is full 3-2 now on Lucido. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, no men on here in the top of the 9th inning. The Beavers lead it 8-3. They look to get some insurance runs cross plate here before they go to the bottom half of the 9th, where it'll be last call for the Hoppers. Comes a delivery from Palm, and that's going to be a ball on the inside, and that's going to walk Lucido. So with one out, there's now a man on for the number 5 hitter. That'll be Hunter Wood.
Hunter Wood reached safely due to an error on Cam Stewart his last time up.
That's going to be a ground ball through this into center field. That's going to be a ground ball base hit for Hunter Wood, and that'll put runners at the corners now with one out. So the Beavers can tack on a couple more runs here and really put this one to bed before going to the bottom of the 9th.
Here comes Gerard Hernandez to the plate. He struck out twice in this ball game this evening. He does have a hit in this ball game, and that came back in the 5th, and it was a broken bat he got the hit on off of.
Yeah, it was just a blooper in the right field because he broke his bat, but based on the swing and how he scored up the ball, it's kind of left to the imagination what would have happened if he hadn't broken his bat on that one. It could have gone the distance. Comes the first pitch to Hernandez. He's going to swing and miss there at a curveball. 0-1 now. Double play could end the inning here for Palm, and I'm sure that's what he's hoping for. As his runners at first and second, apparently. As I swear I thought I saw Lucido advance to third base, but it's runners at first and second. It's going to be a ball outside. 1-1 now. I'm just losing my mind here as it gets in later into the game.
It's also chilly out, too, so I'm thinking I'm next to the window.
I mean, it started at 74, so after the
Yeah.
sun sets, it's got to be in the 60s now.
Yeah.
And along with that breeze we have coming, does feel a little bit chilly. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. He's going to drive that one to right field, and that one is long gone, and that's going to be a 3-run home run for Gerard Hernandez, and he gets that swing back that he broke his bat on last time.
All Macon could do is just watch that one fly.
He has been on fire today. That base hit in the right field earlier left him to the imagination, but not this time, as he has a 3-run home run to really blow this one open, making it 11-3 in this ball game. So Gerard Hernandez puts a charge into that one as he drives that one deep into right field for a 3-run home run. That first pitch to Kennan's going to be a ball 1-0. And now it's an 11-3 lead for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers.
Wow. It's been all Beavers. It's just the Eastside Diamondhoppers pitching this evening's just been not good at all.
Lackluster,
Yes.
is a good word to use. That's going to be a strike, 1-1.
It's been struggling. It's been a rough night for Paul Nochi and his staff.
Palm sets at the mound. Comes the 1-1 pitch to Kennan. That'll be a ball high, 2-1 now. Yeah, Macon out there in right field really just had nothing to do but watch that one fly. Two-one pitch. That's going to be a ball outside. 3-1 now.
Last time these two teams met each other was back on the 13th. Beavers won 15-4, and now it's 11-3 score here in this ball game for the Beavers.
Through-one pitch is going to be a strike. 3-2 now. Full count to Dan Kennan. Comes the 3-2 pitch, and that's going to be grounded over to Achenbach. Achenbach's going to throw it on to Kruger at first and beat the runner by about 2 steps, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. So now DJ Martinez will step in here with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning and a hefty lead for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. It's going to be fouled in the netting behind home plate, 0-1. as he fouls off that 86-mile-an-hour fastball from Palm. Oh, 1 pitch, another one fouled off. This one out of play, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Palm is very nearly going to hit DJ Martinez.
That was close. I thought it did hit him.
Yeah, it looked like it was a breaking ball and broke back away from Martinez. So 1-2 definitely looked like it was going to hit him. I thought for sure that was going to be a hit by pitch. But shows how well we can see from all the way up here. Comes the 1-2 pitch from Martinez. That's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Making a range into his left. Will make the grab, and that's going to end the inning. But a 3-run home run from Gerard Hernandez is going to give the Beavers an 11-3 lead going to the bottom of the ninth, where it's going to be last call for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Due up for them is going to be John Kraft, Brennan Oliver, and Trevor Achenbach as they look to perform the impossible and score 8 runs in the bottom of the ninth to tie this ball game. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom of the ninth inning. It's the last call for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers as they trail by 8 runs here. 11-3 is the score. It's going to be John Kraft to lead things off for the Hoppers.
And James Ball is taking over on the mound for the Beavers.
Yeah, we've had excellent pitching performance out of the Beavers today. Jake Welch goes 6, gives up 1 earned, and then Seth Brenner and Brian Heldman combined for 2 innings. And they were both 1, 2, 3 innings, combining for 3 strikeouts and no walks and no hits. As the 1-0 pitch is going to be swung on and missed, 1-1. Now James Ball is in.
Yeah, James Ball has 10.5 innings pitched so far this season. Has 0 wins, 1 loss, though. Given up 9 hits, has given up 3 walks, has 5 strikeouts, given up 6 runs, which were earned, an ERA of 2.53 and a whip of 1.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the league very long, but he's been absolutely phenomenal.
Yes, he has. And we compare him to like a Brian Wilson, which he looked up to.
As that's going to be a ground ball base hit through the right side. That's going to be the Hoppers' first hit since the 6th inning. And that'll lead off the inning here with a base hit, putting a runner on first with no outs.
And looks like Casey Chenoweth will be batting now.
Look at a pinch hit situation for Brendan Oliver. At this point, they might just be giving swings to batters who haven't gotten a chance today. He's going to drive that one down the left field line into the bullpen for the Hoppers, and that's going to be foul ball, 0-1. Put a charge into that one, but got a little bit out in front of it. The 0-1 pitch is called to strike. 0-2 now.
Casey Chenoweth so far this season's hitting .248, has 2 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 27 hits.
James Ball taking a cautionary look down to first base to Kraft. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from him. It's going to be driven hard towards the gap in left center field. And on the run is Pollard. He'll make the catch, and that'll drive the runner back to first base. A good swing there by Chenoweth,
Yes,
but
it was.
Pollard covering that gap in quite a hurry, was able to get there and make the out.
And here comes Trevor Eckenbach to the plate. Struck out twice this evening, and he also flew out to the center fielder, Brandon Raw, his last time up. So,
Yeah, he's still looking for his first hit here at the USPBL. Comes the first pitch, and that's going to be a ball high and inside.
hit him.
It did hit him. So that'll be a hit batter, and that'll put runners at first and second. It's going to be a quick meeting at the mound between Wood and James Balls. They just getting to settle down, and it's just one more out before this game's over.
Fans are still eager because they want to see the fireworks this evening, and also kids want to run the bases. James Ball.
Comes the first pitch to Mikowski. He's going to fly that one towards left field. It's going to be in foul territory, and Pollard won't get there in time. It's going to be 0-1 now. Comes the 0-1 pitch. That's going to be a ball low and away. 1-1 now. Still just one out here in the bottom of the ninth inning with runners at first and second base. Last call for the Diamond Hoppers as they trail by 8 runs here in the bottom of the ninth inning, losing 11-3. That's going to be a strike on the inside edge. 1-2. Mikowski doesn't agree with that call whatsoever. Yes, he's going to argue with the ump there.
You're never going to win a battle with the ump, though.
Got a feeling the ump might just want to go home at this point. James Ball sets on the mound. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be a ball outside. Count's going to fall even 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here with the runners at first and second here in the bottom of the ninth inning. The 2-2 pitch can be fouled off out of play. It'll remain 2-2.
That went right back in the Diamond Hoppers dugout. And one down there, we're watching out for that one.
And the 2-2 pitch is going to miss, and that's going to make it a full count now with runners at first and second and 1 out. Comes the 3-2 pitch. That's going to be driven fouled on the left field side, and they'll remain 3-2 here.
Mikowski giving Ball a battle here.
Yeah, got to give prop to the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Despite being down 8 runs here in the bottom of the ninth, they don't go out without a fight. Runners are still at first and second with a 3-2 count and 1 out on Ian Mikowski. Mikowski has reached on an error twice today, 0 for 3. It's going to be a foul ball down the left side. His bat is beginning to get a little long here. The 3-2 pitch, fouled on the left field side again. Mikowski really giving James Ball a battle here.
Not going down without a fight. like you were saying a few minutes ago.
Got to give credit where credit's due. That's for sure. Three-two pitch comes in, and another one fouled on the left side. Seems to be Mikowski's favorite area.
If it wasn't for the net, the fans would go home with a lot of baseballs here,
That's for sure.
especially in this appearance.
So runners at first and second. The 3-2 count on Mikowski. Here comes the 3-2 again. It's going to be fouled on the left side yet again.
When is it going to end, Brian?
I'm
When
not
is it going
sure.
to end?
This is going to end in one of two ways, and it's well, actually, it could end in one of three ways. It could be a base hit, a walk, or the second out of the ball game. Double play is still an option as well, with the runner at first base being Trevor Achenbach. The 3-2 pitch comes in. It's going to be fouled on the left side. That's
Again.
the 6th or 7th pitch in a row. He's fouled off down the left side. Really giving James Ball his money worth here. Three-two pitch is grounded back up the middle. That'll be a base hit, and they're going to round third base as John Kraft. He'll come in to score. So it's going to be an RBI single for Ian Mikowski here in the bottom of the ninth, and it is now 9-4. So again, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers don't go down without a fight. So they score a run here in the bottom of the ninth inning, making it 11-4. And Ricky Castro comes in with still one out, and runners still at first and second. So Castro on the mound. Castro at the plate and Ball on the mound. Comes the first pitch to Castro. It's going to be a strike on the outer edge. 0-1. Looked a little bit outside there.
Not a really good evening for Castro this evening. He struck out twice already in this ball game.
Yeah, he's 0 for 3 with a walk. Striking out his last two appearances. 0-1 pitch is going to be outside. 1-1 now.
He does have a stolen base, though, when he walked.
Yeah, that was when they...
hit and run, I think it was.
Yeah, I believe it was either that or they were trying to do a double steal situation.
It's hard to remember what happened earlier.
I believe that's what it was. Mikowski was on third base at the time. That's going to be a strike 1 and 2. So they're trying to bait Hunter Wood to throw down to second base so they could get Mikowski home. But Hunter Wood was the wiser and knew not to do it. And so he's still second without a throw. Castro calls for time. The 1-2 pitch comes in. That's going to be fouled off, and it'll remain 1-2. One-two pitch fouled off towards the left of home plate, and he's staying alive yet again. It's an 11-4 ball game. The Beavers have the lead. The Hoppers have gotten one run back here in the bottom of the ninth, make it 11-4. James Ball on the mound, looking to close this game out. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be driven down the left field line. That one looks like it might stay in fair territory. Pollard on the run is not going to get there, and that's going to be a base hit on the left side. Ricky Castro rounding first base. That's going to be a 2 RBI base hit for Ricky Castro, and that's going to make it 11-6 now. And all of a sudden, the Hoppers have something going here.
They're not going away easy.
So a 2 RBI double for Ricky Castro.
Just what he needed after struggling here in this ball game this evening.
Unfortunately, the Hoppers scoring 3 runs here in the bottom of the ninth doesn't seem to mean much as they are down by 5 runs still. So now Cam Stewart will come up to bat. He's got himself a 2 RBI single. So a runner at second base for Cam Stewart with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. His team has gotten 3 runs this inning back. And it's going to be a 1-0 count now on Stewart after that pitch missed low and outside. It seems the 5-run deficit is what the Eastside Diamond Hoppers have gone through all game today. They had a 5-run deficit. They scored 3. Then that one's flied into left field. Coming in, charging is Pollard. That'll be the 2nd out of the inning. Castro will retreat back to second base. As I was saying, it seems the 5-run deficit is what they have been going through most game today.
Yeah. But James Ball, just one more he needs to go through to get out of this ball game.
Gerard Hernandez hit that 3-run home run at the top of the inning. Now 3 runs back for the Hoppers, making a 5-run deficit again. And like you said, it's the final out now for John Mankin. He's the last hope. It's going to be a ball high 1-0. Speaking of hope, if you come to the baseball park on Thursday, it's going to be Star Wars night here at Jimmy John's Field.
I think it's also Western Michigan night, too.
Yeah, but Star Wars night's more important.
Yeah.
It's all about
Right.
Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Same.
Can't wait for The Last Jedi in December, as that one's going to be driven down the left field line. That one is gone, and that's a 2-run home run for John Mankin here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And that'll make it 11-8 now. And all of a sudden, it is a safe situation for James Ball.
This is crazy, Brian. Here, we thought the Diamond Hoppers were just done coming into this inning. They're not done yet.
It looks like the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers started resting on their laurels here, and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers showing that fighting spirit, have driven in 5 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning to make it 11-8.
What a beautiful swing there by John Mankin.
The first pitch to Kruger is going to be a ball low, 1-0. And all of a sudden, it's a safe situation.
It's crazy how this game has unfolded here.
Got to give Eastside Diamond Hoppers credit for their lack of, or their constant persistence here. They've scored 9 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. They were down 8 runs coming into the inning. And now it's 11-8. Only down by 3. The bases are clear now, and there's still 2 outs as Kruger is the last hope here again. 1-2 now on Kruger, and they're down to their last strike. Comes the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be a ball outside. 2-2 now. Count will fall even. There's some action down there in the Beavers bullpen now after James Ball's given up 5 earned runs here in the bottom of the 9th to make this a close ball game. The 2-2 pitch comes in. Swing and a miss is Kruger.
That will be it.
Yeah, the Beavers finally finished this one out, and they end up winning 11-8. Got to give the Hoppers credit, though, not going down without a fight, scoring 5 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning to win it by a final score of 11-8. So we will go to a short break, tally up all this action that has happened in today's ball game, and we will get back with a post-game recap and list for you the players of the game and give you a quick promo that's going to happen tomorrow. So please stay tuned for that and the Friday night fireworks. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to a quick post-game recap. And what a game we have to recap here.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so to start things off, the Beavers took a 3-0 lead in the 4th inning. That was thanks to an RBI single from Pauler, an RBI single from Rulis, and an RBI ground out from Raw. That made it 3-0. They made it 5-0 in the top of the 5th, thanks to a sac fly RBI from Thomas Rulis, and Gerard Hernandez scored as well. No RBIs attributed there. And then after that, the Hoppers got on the board, scoring 3 runs in the 5th and the 6th, or 2 runs in the 5th and 1 in the 6th for a total of 3 runs. That was a 2 RBI single from Cam Stewart, RBI sac fly from Brandon Oliver that made it 5-3. And then in the 7th inning, the Beavers got on the board and scored 2 more. That made it 7-3 in that ball game, or 8-3. I'm sorry, they scored 3 in that inning, making it 8-3. That was thanks to RBIs from Raw and Pauler. And then in the top of the 9th, they extended their lead even more thanks to a 3-run home run from Gerard Hernandez. And that made it 11-3. And then the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, not giving up easily in the bottom of the 9th inning, hit 5 runs across the plate, an RBI single from Ian Mikowski, an 2 RBI double from Ricky Castro, and a 3-run home run from John Mankin. Ended up making it an 11-8 ball game before James Ball finally got the final out, ending the ball game. And that's how we got to where we're at. The starting pitchers today were Torrey DeShazer and Jake Welch. Welch went 6 innings pitched, gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, only one of which was earned, 2 walks, and struck out 9. Dan, what a performance from Welch today.
Yeah, it was. You know what? It's unfortunate that he didn't get the win. It happened to go to Brian Hellman. But you know what? When we pick our pitcher of the game, I'm going to have to go with him.
Yeah, I think it's fairly easy to say. He 9 strikeouts in 6 innings and only 1 earned run. He increases on his good performance from his last outing. He continues to roll here. He came in today with a 2.54 ERA, and that'll continue to fall now. Unfortunate outing for Torrey DeShazer. He couldn't bounce. He couldn't have a good outing following his last outing.
The walks really killed him.
Yeah, that's for sure. He had 7 walks in 3 innings pitched, gave up 2 earned runs, and walked 7 guys, like I said, with striking out 4. Only giving up 1 hit, though. He had a great performance his last time out, 6 2/3 with 1 earned run and 7 Ks, but just couldn't keep that rolling today. And unfortunate for him, but every player is going to have a bad game here and there.
I mean, it was an interesting 9th inning, though. You got to give it to the Hoppers. They did not give up.
Yeah, you got to give it to them and their perseverance. They scored 5 runs to make it a safe situation. Like you said, the winning pitcher is Heldman, the losing pitcher is going to be Palm, and the save is going to go to Ball. So, again, the final is 11-8 in favor of the Beavers. And, Dan, who would you pick for your player of the game?
I'm going to have to go with Thomas Rulis this evening.
Good pick there, Dan. Thomas Rulis went 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs, 3 base hits, and a sac fly RBI, and a walk as well. So he got on base, and even when he didn't, he's still driving in runs. I think just for the sake of doing something a little bit different, I'll go with Gerard Hernandez.
All right.
Not nearly as good of a game for Gerard Hernandez as Thomas Rulis, but he came up big and had the difference maker in the 9th inning with that 3-run home run. He went 2 for 6 in that ball game.
I mean, he broke his bat, got a base hit, but we knew as soon as it came off the bat of his, we knew he was bound to get a home run in this ball game. And
yeah, that base hit in the right field, that last in the 5th inning where he broke his bat, the swing was perfect. It looked like it could have gone the distance, and we were left wondering what could have been. And then he hit that home run in the top of the 9th inning, and that ended up being the difference maker. Anyway, that's going to be it here from Jimmy John's Field. Brian Fisher with Dan Dobler. The final score yet again was the Beavers 11, the Hoppers 8. And the fireworks have started here, so I'll send it down to the field for that.